that wasn't the truth. You left some things out.
I left some things out.
Okay. They got a badge on their hip and they got a gun on their hip, correct?
Yes, but I knew they were there for the good
Sure.
of my girlfriend.
So because they were there for the good of your girlfriend, you made a personal decision to lie to them, correct, Ms. Pine?
Trust me, I didn't want to.
I didn't ask if you wanted to.
Pi is my first three initials, so Lana coined me as the Pi.
Okay. And you changed your name legally to Punkin, right?
Punkin, P-U-N-K-I-N.
You contacted the defense, and then you felt very important after that, didn't you?
Did not. Are you freaking kidding me?
You began to feel very important because all of a sudden your story changed and you became the center of attention. Isn't that true?
A little bit of the terminology you have wrong.
Okay.
Some of the clubs, before I was a promoter,
Okay.
I was employed.
Okay.
I fear that crime is running rampant in Alhambra because we have a large portion of their police department sitting in my hallway. Hopefully the criminals in Alhambra are not watching and they don't realize that.
Did you witness her be the kind of individual that would stand up to people, men or women?
Oh, yeah, she's an Aries.
Okay.
Let's talk about this. You already had in your possession 4 phone numbers. Did you not?
4 phone numbers?
Phone number for Bill Gailey. Does that name ring a bell? A
Yeah.
phone number for Leslie Abrams. Does that ring a bell?
These are people that called me.
A phone number for Cheryl Yoko. Does that name ring a bell?
Yep.
And a phone number, amazingly enough, for Roger Rosen. Isn't that true?
Oh, that I don't.
Amazingly enough.
That I don't remember.
So this book was, in fact, intended, at least in the first iterations in your mind, was about Lana Clarkson's life and your life with her, correct?
Well, no, it's about me.
Is it safe to say that your memory for details is not quite as good as maybe some of your girlfriend's memories for details?
No, that was a joke. May I explain?
No. I don't want to get into inside girlfriend jokes. Let's
Okay.
things are private.
Mr. Rosen, why don't you ask a question and we'll see where it goes from there.
Let's just, having read the portion of that paragraph that's in quotes, does that refresh your memory as to the phraseology of the conversation with Lana 4 to 5 days before February 3rd, 03?
Yes.
Could you please now tell us what she said?
Objection, I'm objecting to the witness reading from the report.
You can't read it, ma'am, but if it's refreshed your recollection, you can go ahead and testify from your memory now
Oh, okay.
as to what she said. Put the document down if you don't. Thank you.
Or Mr. Rosen can take possession of the document.
Thank you.
Sure.
Can you now please answer the question?
She said, I don't live anymore. I don't want to be in this town. I want to end it. I don't want to be here anymore.
Those were Lana's words.
Unfortunately, yes.
Thank you very much. Nothing further.
Thank you. Cross-examination.
Thank you, Ron. Ma'am, you were being questioned by Mr. Rosen. One consistent theme throughout your testimony is how, and I think I'll steal your word from you, how gregarious and happy Lana Clarkson was throughout the tenure of your friendship and your relationship with her, correct?
Correct.
Was that a consistent theme of her personality? In other words, when she would walk into a room, she would light that room up?
Yes.
Okay, she could put on a happy face even in the worst of times, correct?
Oh, yeah.
And you're in the music business here in Los Angeles, and we've had some conversations before with a couple of other people, some writers and other folks here in Los Angeles, and everybody seems to agree, and I bet you would too, that Los Angeles can be a tough career town for those in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
You've had tough times yourself.
Sort of, yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's
After 2003.
okay, there's ups and downs, correct? All right. There's ups and downs with friendships.
Yes.
There's ups and downs with business relationships.
Yes.
There's ups and downs when none of it has anything to do with anything personal, but just business. I mean, sometimes you can't get a band that you want, or folks don't show up at a club you're promoting, correct?
Yes.
All right. And that's sort of the nature of the business, correct?
Yes.
And you knew throughout the tenure of your friendship with Miss Clarkson that she had her ups and downs too, correct?
Oh, yes.
Sometimes she would land a commercial or an infomercial, and that might be great for her career, and sometimes she'd have a drought, correct?
Yes.
But through it all, kind of a consistent fiber that ran through the weave of Lana Clarkson was that she would put on a happy face and she would get past that moment, correct?
Yes.
She had kind of this glorious vision of the future. Things would be brighter after the next bend in the road, correct?
Oh, yes.
And that was part of why you and probably your friend, the third of the Musketeers, Miss Hayes, enjoyed being around Miss Clarkson so much, correct?
Yes.
Even when you were down, Lana could bring you up. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
I'll bet you could tell this jury some stories about when Lana had those halos, I think it's a medical device pinning her some 21 or 26 fractures in her wrists, even when she's walking around with her leopard skin sling over her shoulder. You might have a bad day, yet you'll call her, even with her broken wrists, to make you feel better, correct?
Yes.
And she could always provide that kind of wonderful part of that friendship for you. Is that right?
Yes.
And you knew that she could do that for others as well.
Oh, yes.
People like to have her at parties. People like to have her over at their house because she could make other folks around her feel better about themselves, correct?
Always, yeah.
And even she would even do this, ma'am, when things in her life weren't necessarily on the most even of keels. Isn't that right?
Yes.
As we're talking, as we're visiting here for a second, you're smiling. These are bringing back good memories of Lana Clarkson for you. Is that right?
Yes.
And you would probably agree with me, ma'am, that your memories of Lana Clarkson, as you glance up at the screen and saw the photographs of y'all in Jamaica, I think, and of y'all at birthday parties and y'all at New Year's parties, that those were really good times for you, for everybody involved.
The best.
And you smiled when you looked at those photographs back then, and you're sort of smiling now, thinking of better times, correct?
Correct.
All right. You were somewhat devastated when Miss Clarkson was shot and killed, correct?
Well, I'm going to inject that question.
When she was shot to death.
Beyond somewhat.
Thank you. Obviously, one of the most important days in the life of your relationship with Miss Clarkson was, and I don't mean important good, ma'am, I mean important, it could have been very, very bad, and I imagine it was very, very bad, was when you found out that she had died.
Yes.
And it was just within hours of that a member of the Homicide Bureau at the Sheriff's Department came and paid you a visit, correct?
Yes.
And I would imagine, as close a friend as you were to Miss Clarkson, that you sort of expected that.
Yes.
You expected somebody at some point to come talk to you and get a little more information about Miss Clarkson and begin to kind of put together a picture of who Lana was, correct?
Yes.
It was obviously important to you to let these homicide detectives, Detective Tomlin and Detective Fournier, the taller of the two, let them know what you knew and what you could provide to them about Miss Clarkson. Is that right?
Yes.
You wanted to be as honest and forthright as you possibly could. Was that right?
Yes.
You indicated that there was another lady with you in the house. Is that right?
Yes.
And she was somewhat insistent that you not talk to the police or something. I think that's what you said, correct?
Yes.
But at some point, y'all were separated. Is that right?
Yes.
And you were able to talk to Detective Tomlin kind of personally and privately. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Detective Tomlin asked you certain questions about your relationship with Miss Clarkson, not unlike I'm asking you now and not unlike Mr. Rosen asked you before. Yes?
Yes.
He conducted the interview, I'm assuming, with, we've all met Detective Tomlin, with some respect and some sensitivity to your loss.
Yes.
He wasn't overbearing or mean or nasty to you.
No.
Pretty nice fella, isn't he?
Yeah.
He was taking notes as y'all were speaking.
Yes.
When he asked you about your relationship with Miss Clarkson, you relayed a lot of the same information that you've relayed to this jury about the length of time that you knew her, the closeness of the relationship. Is that right?
Yes.
And then Mr. Tomlin or Tomlin began to ask you a couple of questions, very specifically, very pointed questions that were probably hard to hear and hard to listen to about her death, correct?
Yes.
All right. He asked you when the last time you'd spoken to her was.
About 3 days before she passed.
And he asked you about that and you told him that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. He asked you how much time you'd spent with her in the last months of her life, say 2 or 3 or 4 months preceding her death, correct?
I don't remember.
You would have no quarrel if that were, well, let me put it this way. You would sort of expect that would be part of the questioning, correct?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm going to inject conspiracy.
Sustained to the last question, the answer is stricken.
Always phrase that. Did you talk about the span of your relationship with Detective Tomlin and indicate that y'all were friends all the way up until the end?
Yes.
And Detective Tomlin specifically asked you a couple of questions, ma'am, pointed toward Lana Clarkson's frame of mind before she died. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. And specifically, Detective Tomlin asked you, and this is just hours after Lana Clarkson died, before you had a whole lot of time to think and everything set in. This is kind of your gut honest reaction to the questions that he's asking you, correct?
Sort of.
Okay. He asked you specifically, was there anything in Lana Clarkson's personality, or was there anything that you noticed about her that suggested to you suicide? Isn't that correct?
Yes.
And you specifically answered his question, correct?
As to my knowledge.
Okay. And specifically, you said, absolutely not. There was nothing in Clarkson that would suggest suicide. Didn't you tell him that?
No, excuse me, Your Honor. Yes. And this quotes. That's not what she's saying.
I don't have the statement. I can't answer.
And Your Honor, I wasn't quoting. I was paraphrasing, and I was asking the witness if that's what she relayed to Detective Tomlin, and she said yes, to the best of my memory.
Then you can redirect, Mr. Rosen. Thank you. You may proceed.
You indicated that Lana Clarkson was, in fact, not suicidal to that set of her series of questions, didn't you?
Because I was told.
Okay.
That's what I should say.
All right. I know you told Mr. Rosen an explanation for it. I'm not asking you your explanation. I'm going to step a step backward. I'm asking you, tell the jurors, what did you tell Detective Tomlin about Lana Clarkson and any reference to suicide?
I said I would be surprised.
That you said that she was not suicidal, correct?
Don't remember that.
And you indicated that, well, Detective Tomlin went on and asked you a few more questions. Okay, well, since she wasn't suicidal, according to you, let's talk about depression. Was Lana Clarkson a depressed person? Do you remember him asking you a series of questions about that?
Not really.
Do you remember you answering to a series of questions that Detective Tomlin asked? The only time you've ever seen Lana Clarkson depressed was a year ago when she broke her wrists.
I probably said yes.
So in your conversation just hours after Lana Clarkson had died, during your conversation with Detective Tomlin, and I think Mr. Rosen touched on this, you specifically told Detective Tomlin that Lana was not suicidal, and you specifically told him the only time you had seen her depressed was when she broke her wrists, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And once again, you did indicate to Detective Tomlin what a remarkably gregarious woman Lana Clarkson was, correct?
Yes.
You also had conversations with other friends in the weeks and months after Lana Clarkson's death, correct?
Yes.
And during those weeks and months, man, you were specifically at a get-together. I think it may have been Anne Marie Donahue's wedding, where Rick Brody was there, correct?
I guess.
Okay. Do you remember being at that function with Rick Brody?
I remember the wedding. I don't remember if Rick was there.
Okay. You know who Rick is.
Yeah.
He's a friend. He's a colleague, someone that you
Yeah.
converse with or chat with if you were at the same function, correct?
Yes.
You've seen him many times over the years, correct?
Not many.
Well, when I say many, I mean more than once. In other words, you didn't just meet him on one occasion and never again, correct?
Correct.
I mean, you know who he is.
Yes.
All right. It would be unusual, since you all run in the same circle of friends, to be at the same function with Mr. Brody.
Yes.
Did you ever say anything to Mr. Brody about your views concerning Lana Clarkson's death?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you remember being at a function wherein, and if it was the wedding, fine. If it was another function, that's fine too. I'm not trying to tax your memory that much, but you were at a function and you were actually carrying Lana Clarkson's picture with you. Do you remember that?
My club.
You were at your club?
Yes.
Okay. Was that the function where Mr. Brody was there, or do you remember?
No.
When we last left off, ma'am, we were talking about a conversation that you had with, or may have had with, Rick Brody. Do you remember having some kind of a conversation about this event, about the death of Lana Clarkson, with Rick Brody?
Frankly, I do not. I was in shock.
Sure.
At the time.
And you've talked to several people about Lana Clarkson's death, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
Probably safe to say a bunch of folks.
My friends, yes.
When you talked to Rick Brody, or you said you don't recall talking to Rick Brody, do you recall having a conversation with Mr. Brody wherein you talked about Mr. Spector and Ms. Clarkson And you never mentioned anything about, or there was no suggestion by you about depression or suicide or any statements by Ms. Clarkson. Do you remember that?
I have no recollection of talking to Rick Brody. I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Like I said, you've talked to several people about this, correct?
Yes.
And in the weeks following Lana Clarkson's death, you never mentioned to anybody the statements that you testified to
Oh,
here.
no, that's not true.
You never mentioned those statements to Rick Brody, for instance.
I don't ever remember talking to Rick Brody.
You never mentioned those statements to Anne Marie Donahue.
Oh, yes.
You, according to your testimony, you did tell Anne Marie Donahue about Lana Clarkson's statement that the testimony that was just elicited on direct examination.
Yes.
Okay. And did you tell Miss Donahue that Miss Clarkson said that, quote, she's sick of these people and she hates this town and she doesn't want to be here anymore? Did you tell her that?
Yes.
Okay. Did you also tell her that during the phone call that you got from Miss Clarkson, that Miss Clarkson's statement was, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to be here in this town. I want out. I'm done. I'm done.
Yes.
Okay. And that's your best recollection of your conversation with Miss Clarkson just days before she was killed, correct?
I had more conversation with her before.
I'm asking about the conversation that you testified to on direct examination, the one where you indicated that she called you on the phone and indicated she's sick of this town, she's done, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you're according to you, you related that to Miss Donahue, Anne Marie Donahue?
Yes.
All right. And if you had a conversation with Mr. Brody, that would have been the crux of the conversation that you would have had with him, correct?
Objection, and she says she doesn't recall.
Sustained given her prior answers.
I'll ask it a different way, ma'am. The statements that we've just talked about, the statements that you originally testified to on direct examination, those are the statements that you were saying that you attributed to Miss Clarkson before she died, correct?
I don't understand that.
I'm sorry, that was convoluted. I'll rephrase it.
Sorry.
On direct examination, you indicated that the statements you recall Miss Clarkson making were, I'm sick of these people and I hate this town, meaning Los Angeles, correct?
Yes.
And I don't want to be here anymore, correct?
Yes.
And that was at the party, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then after the party, a few days later, a couple of weeks later, the phone call from Miss Clarkson that you talked to Mr. Rosen about, you indicated that she said, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to be here in this town. I want out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Is that right?
Yes.
Those are the conversations that you related to the friends and family that, according to you, that you had contact with immediately after Lana Clarkson's death.
Not all.
Some, not all friends, or some, not all conversations.
Some, not all conversations.
Okay. In fact, in the days and weeks following Miss Clarkson's death, you did have some contact with the family members, correct?
Little, I think.
A little, you think?
I think.
Okay. Well, you went to her funeral, yes?
Yes.
And you went to a memorial service for Miss Clarkson?
Yes. I'm sorry. I thought you meant on the phone.
No.
Sorry.
But just contact one way or another, correct?
Yes.
All right. And it was made very clear by the family members, Donna, Lana's mother, and Fawn, her sister, and their representatives, that
Objection, Harrison.
No, this goes to her state of mind. This is that it's not being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. It sounds to me like it's going to explain her contact with the family in certain statements. The jury will not receive this for the truth of the matter asserted.
Thank you. Their indication was they wanted to keep this out of the press. They weren't going to make any public comments about this, the death of Lana Clarkson, their daughter, sister, correct?
Yes.
All right. And that was relayed to you as well, yes?
Yes.
Okay. It was made very clear, ma'am, that the family of Lana Clarkson wanted to ensure, they told you or related to you that they wanted to ensure the integrity of any investigation that was going to come around, correct?
I don't know.
And they also they indicated that they didn't want to try this in the press in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yes.
Okay. And you understood that, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it true that a couple of weeks after that you did grant one interview at least with a magazine here in Los Angeles?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you know the magazine Star Magazine?
No.
Okay. Are you aware that there was an article published in Star that basically had you as the centerpiece of the article, of the reporter's article?
Yes. I never talked to that magazine.
Okay. Did somebody in your stead talk for that magazine? Or did you talk to any reporter representing that they belong to some other magazine?
Not that I'm aware of.
Isn't it true that you granted an interview to some entity, a reporter or a magazine or somebody, within a couple of weeks after Miss Clarkson's death, just to kind of set the record straight about your relationship with Miss Clarkson, et cetera?
No,
Did you ever read the Star Magazine article?
no,
Were you ever informed that there was in fact a Star Magazine article that highlighted a person that was quoted as being one of Lana's closest girlfriends?
yes, and I think I know who that was.
And that person indicated that she talked to Lana 3 or 4 times a day, correct?
I don't know.
Okay, and you indicated to this jury that I think it was on Thursday that you, in fact, as one of her closest girlfriends, you talked to Lana 3 or 4 times a day on the telephone as well, correct?
Yes.
But according to you, this was not you, the anonymous girlfriend who talked to Star Magazine.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Was it your impression that the family members believed that that was you?
I think it was.
Not speculation. It goes to her state of mind, her relationship with the family, and what she believed. The objection is overruled.
Thank you.
And
And because of that, ma'am,
The question hadn't been answered, but we're on with other questions.
thank you. The reality is, right, wrong, or indifferent, ma'am, you were devastated by the loss of your friend.
yes,
It was an emotional time for everybody.
it was the worst time of my life.
And it was an emotional time for the victim's family as well.
Correct.
Everybody was on edge, nerves were on edge, correct?
Yes.
Right. And the family indicated to you that they believed that you had gone to Star Magazine and specifically laid out certain information about a relationship that you had with Miss Clarkson to Star Magazine. That was what was related to you, correct?
Related to me.
All right. And obviously what you believed at that point was that the family members were somewhat angered by that, correct?
I think they were upset.
Okay. And the focus of their being upset was sort of directed at you. At least that was your belief.
Yes.
All right. As a matter of fact, the family members following the publication of the Star Magazine article, and your understanding at least was this article was published on February 25th, 2003, just weeks after Lana's death, correct?
No idea.
Okay. This all kind of came to a head about the publication of an article within weeks of Lana Clarkson's death, though.
I remember something about an article. Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you had only spoken, the only official interview that you had given, according to you, was to Detective Tomlin and Detective Fournier of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Homicide Bureau, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you didn't contact Detective Tomlin or Fournier within the next few weeks to either change or modify your statement to them, correct?
I don't remember.
Okay. Do you think that might be something that you would recall if you had a second conversation with them within the next few weeks?
Things were hazy, but I think I would remember, but I don't think I contacted them. I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Okay. Some of us have better memories than others. And is it safe to say that your memory for details is not quite as good as maybe some of your girlfriend's memories for details?
No, that was a joke. May I explain?
No. I don't want to get into inside girlfriend jokes. Those
Okay.
things are private. Those are kept in a mental vault.
You just opened the box.
The reality is your memory about your conversation, for instance, and I think there's been a couple of times when you said things were hazy back then. Is that right?
It was a confusing time. I'm not sure.
A difficult time for everybody.
Yeah.
And so your memory is, to use your words, your memory is a little bit hazy about the details and circumstances of what was going on back then, correct?
I remember pretty much everything. It was just very sad.
Okay. Do you remember having a second conversation with Detective Tomlin and Fournier?
Well, did they call me?
I'm asking if you remember that.
I don't.
Okay. So, in fact, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a slight memory. My memory's horrible. That's why I have all these notes. All I'm asking is, and apparently you do too, I may want to look at that before this is all over. The fact of the matter is, you've already indicated a couple of times, and it's very understandable that your memory about those events several years ago, 2003, 4.5 years ago now, is less fresh than, for instance, something that happened this morning or yesterday or last week.
Of course.
You would have no quarrel if I suggested to you that the only conversation you had with Detectives Tomlin and Fournier was that first night.
I believe that's true.
Okay, you don't have any independent recollection of picking up the phone and calling them to change or modify the statement that you gave them. Is that correct?
Excuse me. Can we approach one minute? Thank you.
You may proceed.
Thank you. The fact is, ma'am, you never did contact Detective Fournier and Detective Tomlin a second time to either change or modify the statement that you'd given them, did you?
I'm not certain, but I have another notebook where I wrote notes down,
Okay.
contacting or who contacted me, so I may have it in my notes.
All right. Understanding that your memory is not as good as it necessarily could be, would you agree with me that if in fact Detective Tomlin and Fournier testified that they only had one conversation with you, they never heard from you after February 3rd, you would not quarrel with that? That would be accurate.
Well, I'm going to object to the form of the question raised.
Sustained. Do you have any contrary memory that you only spoke to them once? Is that your best memory?
I think so. It's so long ago, I don't really remember. And other detectives and things came, I don't really remember each one of their names and who they were.
All right, thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And during these weeks following Lana Clarkson's death, because the family believed that you had sort of gone outside the family, if you will, and spoken to a reporter, and that got published, you began to feel somewhat marginalized by the family, by Lana's family.
I felt that before that.
And you began to feel slighted.
On the day that the murder happened, the shooting happened,
No, as a progression in the days and weeks following Miss Clarkson's death, although you went to the funeral and you went to the memorial service, people stopped giving you information, correct? The family members stopped talking to you.
I guess so.
And that upset you, correct?
A little. I felt they were probably very grief-stricken, and I don't hold that against them whatsoever.
And you felt somewhat unimportant because they weren't letting you in the inner circle.
Well, I'm going to object.
No.
Overruled.
Is that correct?
No.
Didn't you tell Detective Bennett, who's another detective you spoke to a couple of years after that exactly that? Didn't you tell Detective Bennett, I felt marginalized, I felt slighted, I felt unimportant because the family members sort of ousted me a little bit because they thought I went to the press.
Possibly, yes, possibly.
And that hurt it would hurt anybody's feelings, isn't it?
That's my feelings.
Yeah, obviously. And you felt like you were one of the family because you were as close to Lana Clarkson as you say you were, correct?
Yes.
All right. And that would not be a good feeling to feel like you were exiled, if you will, emotionally, if not physically, emotionally exiled from the inner circle of the family.
I understood why.
But it was, in fact, a feeling that you were suffering, correct?
I guess so.
All right. In fact, when the media began their feeding frenzy, if you will, on this case, the media began going to other people, to other girlfriends and friends of Lana Clarkson's family, and interviewing those other folks, correct?
I guess.
And you began reading some of that. Is that right?
Not really.
I mean, you read the Vanity Fair article. You were at least aware that there was another article in other magazines about Lana Clarkson, correct?
Oh, yes. I tried not to read them, though, honestly.
And you indicated, as a matter of fact, during your conversation with Detective Bennett, you indicated that you were aware that other members of Lana's circle of friends, if you will, that weren't as close as you were quoted in the media. And yet you weren't quoted in the media. Is that right?
Yes, I was told not to talk to the media.
And you felt like you knew her better than these other folks, correct?
Yeah.
And you felt like you could provide better information than these other folks because you were closer to Lana than they were.
Yes.
And that was a little bit offensive to you that they were in the media talking and yet you were staying quiet, correct?
It wasn't offensive. It's just what it was. They told me not to talk to the press, so I didn't talk to the press.
And the fact of the matter is, because of that, the focus of attention, the spotlight of attention, is focused on others and not the family and certainly not you. Is that correct?
I guess.
During the following year, in 2004, I assume that you never called. I've asked you this a couple times, and your memory is, I think, to use your word, pretty hazy about some of the details surrounding that time. But let me find out if you remember this. During 2004, the rest of the months, I'm sorry, I'm going to back up a year. The rest of the months of 2003, you never called the sheriff's department or the district attorney's office or anybody like that to change or modify the statement that you gave, correct?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
During 2004, during those entire 12 months, you never called the sheriff's department or Officer Fournier or Officer Tomlin to change your statement, correct?
Yeah, I was told not to talk to anybody,
And during 2000, and you thought that meant the
everybody,
homicide investigators too?
unless they called me.
Okay. So according to your testimony, you knew that you had given them a false statement. In essence, a lie, according to you. And yet you never, and this was a lie about your best friend, right? Yet you never contacted them during 2003, during 2004, and on going into 2005, correct?
I didn't really contact anybody, period.
Well, in 2005, you did have contact with the defense, though, didn't you?
Oh, I didn't have contact with the defense until after the detectives came back to my house.
In fact, concerning your job, and you talked a little bit about this, ma'am, in direct examination, you did, in fact, continue club promoting. Is that right?
One club. I let the other ones all go. I couldn't bear to do it.
As a matter of fact, and I'm going to see if I can get myself into the swing of things here, if you will.
Okay.
Some of the cool clubs back then that you were promoting at included Tattoo and Key Club, Noah, spelled Noa, Crustaceans, China Club,
Oh.
Barfly.
Some of those aren't true, by the way. Do you want to know?
Oh, sure. Yeah, tell me that.
Yeah, Noah was an old restaurant that I did many, many years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked there. I was actually an employee.
Okay.
I was a maitre d'.
All right. So that one was not.
1991, yeah.
You done?
Sorry. go ahead.
No, that's okay. Anything else?
Can you do the list again?
Okay, so Tattoo, Key Club, China Club, Barfly.
Tattoo was, do you want to know the ones after
I'm asking you.
her death?
Hang on. Let's take a step back.
Okay.
I'm asking you to reiterate the clubs that you indicated to Mr. Rosen you were promoting at before Lana Clarkson died, before she died.
Okay.
Okay, including Tattoo and Key Club and Barfly and China Club, Bar One, maybe a couple of others.
A little bit of the terminology you have wrong.
Okay,
Some of the clubs, before I was a promoter,
okay,
I was employed.
okay,
So Tattoo, I was the club manager upstairs
okay,
for the nightclub. Key Club, Billboard, when it opened, I was the VIP room manager downstairs.
okay.
Like a host there. Then I went into promoting clubs.
I see. And
Different little weird thing.
the fact of the matter is, not necessarily need to get into the deep details about it. You're promoting at several different clubs during the course of the year leading up to Lana Clarkson's death, and that also included Backstage Cafe, correct?
Yes.
All right. The way that you earn a living doing that, for those of us who are uninitiated, is you might provide a band to play at the club. It might be live music, correct? As a matter of fact, in your case, it would always be live music.
Yes.
Right? There would be alcohol served. I mean, these are 21 and over clubs, not the 18 and over, right?
Yes.
And the reason that that's important is because you're paid as a percentage of the alcohol sales. That's the normal operating procedure, correct?
Food, bar, the
Okay.
whole 9 yards. Yes.
Okay, so if you pack the club in and everybody's throwing wads and hundreds around, it's a better night for you than if it's a trickle, folks.
Correct.
I mean, in other words, your income is directly proportionate to how well the bar does that night. And I say bar, including the foodstuffs and the alcohol sales, the spirits and stuff, correct?
Yes.
All right. Of those, and you indicated that you only, well, let me back up and ask you this, I guess, foundationally. Of all those clubs that we just talked about, are you aware of any of them that have any association at all with Philip Spector?
Nope.
Do you know who David Kessel is?
Oh, yes.
Who's David Kessel?
He's one of the believe a small investor at Backstage.
Who's Daniel Kessel?
I think it's his brother, but I'm not sure.
The Kessel brothers actually either own or partially own Backstage Cafe, correct?
Check that recall for speculation.
Only if she knows.
I think they're an investor. I'm not positive.
Okay, so
Extract the answer.
Well, that's investor owner. I think I'm not going to, the request, excuse me. I'll give you a chance to finish your answer in a second. The request to strike is denied. And if you want to go ahead and finish your answer, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not positive, and I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I wasn't aware of that for a long time.
okay, well, let's talk about that for a second. You do know that David Kessel, I don't want to get into the specifics of his business association with Backstage, but you do understand that David Kessel is intimately involved with Backstage Cafe, correct?
Objection, vague, intimately involved.
You could be more specific.
Sure. You know that he has a business interest in Backstage Cafe. Is that right?
All for speculation.
Overruled. She's already testified. That was her belief.
I think so.
Okay. And you indicated that you weren't aware of Mr. Kessel's interest in Backstage Cafe until a little while later, correct?
Yes.
Let's talk about that for just a second. You learned about Mr. Kessel's interest or Mr. Kessel's association with Backstage Cafe in or around June of 2003, several months after Lana Clarkson's death. Isn't that right?
I don't know.
You had a conversation with Tawny Tyndall in this case. Is that right?
Yes,
You've had many conversations with Tawny Tyndall in this case, correct?
couple.
Okay, and she's interviewed you and taken notes and memorialized those discussions in formalized reports, correct?
Yes.
And you've reviewed some of those reports. Is that right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, you've probably reviewed all those reports.
Well,
I don't know.
Sustained it's not a question, it's a statement.
Have you reviewed all of the reports?
I don't know if I've reviewed all the reports.
Okay. Have you reviewed the reports that you recall being involved with? The reports have dates on them, correct?
I guess.
Okay. When you reviewed the reports, did they coincide with the conversations that you had with Miss Tyndall?
I guess so, yes.
Okay. When you were talking with Miss Tyndall, was she taking notes?
Yes.
Was there a tape recording running?
No.
Did you get to review Miss Tyndall's notes?
At a later date.
Okay. So have you reviewed both the formalized, memorialized report, typewritten report, as well as Ms. Tyndall's raw notes, correct?
I don't know if I've seen them all.
Okay. You indicated to Ms. Tyndall that in June of 2003, you saw a Vanity Fair article. Is that right?
Yes.
All right. As a matter of fact, I think you said to her that it was either Vanity Fair or GQ. You couldn't remember. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you recall, just looking at the cover, does this look like the Vanity Fair article, the one with Drew Barrymore on the cover?
I have no idea. I don't pay that much attention to articles.
Can you see on the spine the date? Can you see from there?
No.
Let me help you. I couldn't either.
Honey, I can't even see in front of my face. Come on.
June of 2003, the June of 2003 Vanity Fair. Do you remember reading that magazine and specifically an article about Philip Spector and Lana Clarkson in that magazine?
Like I said, I tried not to read any of the articles.
Did you tell Miss Tyndall that you had reviewed an article in June of 2003 and you believed it was either Vanity Fair or GQ?
Possibly. I remember something about an article somewhere.
Okay, well.
I don't know if it was Vanity Fair. I thought it was GQ.
May I proceed briefly?
You may.
I just want to see if this refreshes your recollection. I'm going to show you the open face page of the article. Does that look familiar?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you've read this article.
Yeah, I think I have.
Okay, may the record reflect that I opened it to it looks like it'd be page 184 of the June edition of Vanity Fair, the phrase "legend with a bullet" as the title.
Let's check. And the jury will keep in mind that's merely a title of an article, and that's all that it is.
Correct.
I'm going to strike this.
It's stricken. The title of the article is unimportant. The jury is admonished to disregard it.
Thank you.
That's the article that you recall reading, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And in that article, there was reference to David Kessel as a longtime friend and sideman of Spector. Do you recall that?
Yes.
All right. And that prompted that got your attention, didn't it?
Yes.
Because you knew David Kessel, is that right?
From the club, yes.
From the Backstage Cafe Club.
Yes.
And you had had contact with David Kessel at the Backstage Cafe, is that right?
Yes.
And that was reading that article in June of 2003, and the weeks and months following Lana Clarkson's death, that was the first time that you made a connection between David Kessel and Philip Spector, correct?
Yes.
And in that article that said that David Kessel was the longtime friend and sideman of Philip Spector, that prompted you to contact David and have a conversation with David Kessel about Philip Spector and Lana Clarkson.
Yes.
When there was an objection, I asked an instruction from the court to the jury that was in the article is not being introduced for the truth of the matter, and merely to refresh your memory.
Sustained. And I will admonish the jury. Actually, you didn't make an objection, so I will honor your request. And whatever's in this article is not offered for the truth of the matter asserted. It will serve apparently as a springboard as to why certain conversations took place after that, and only for that purpose. You may proceed.
Thank you. In fact, when you contacted David Kessel, he did confirm that, in fact, he was a friend of Philip Spector's.
Objection is to what he confirmed hearsay.
Overruled.
Is that right?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, he went on to indicate to you, did he not, that the nature of his friendship and relationship with Mr. Spector?
I just have one objection.
Yes, this goes to possible bias, as I understand it.
That's correct, Your Honor. Not often from truth was not our service.
Something about it, yes, his father or something was,
In other words, he felt so close to Mr. Spector
I'm
that,
not sure we got the rest of the answer.
Go ahead, if you have
I'm sorry.
your answer, go ahead.
just something about his father had been friends of him, of Phil Spector's.
the father of the Kessel brothers was also a musician, correct?
Yes.
And David Kessel indicated that he got to know Philip Spector for many, many years as David Kessel was working his way through studio. He was a studio musician and got to know Philip Spector very well in that capacity, correct?
I don't remember exactly, but I know it was something to do with, he was a musician.
And in fact, didn't David indicate to you that both Daniel and David were ex-musicians that worked with and for Philip Spector?
I didn't know about Daniel.
Did David indicate to you that he idolized Mr. Spector?
I don't remember.
Did he indicate to you that he was very, very close to Mr. Spector and looked at him almost as a father figure?
Oh, yes, I think he did.
Object to all these questions about what Mr. David Kessler said in some conversation with this witness. It's all hearsay.
It's not being offered the truth of the matter asserted. It's being offered to explain why, possibly, and that's up to the jury to determine, this witness may have some bias in this matter. That's all.
Very well.
Objections overruled.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm sorry to reiterate. You indicated that during your conversation with Mr. Kessel, David Kessel, not Daniel, David, that David did indicate that he felt he looked up to Mr. Spector like a father figure.
I think so.
As a matter of fact, your previous answer was, oh, yes. He absolutely said that, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't hide the fact that David Kessel did not hide the fact that he was very, very close to and very loyal with Philip Spector because of the years of musical connection that they had, correct?
Yes.
And also a personal connection that he had with Mr. Spector as
I
well.
don't know what his personal connection was. I didn't.
But he definitely indicated that he, David Kessel, was extremely close to Mr. Spector.
He said they were growing up. He was close to growing up.
With that answer in, there will be no more questions directly to that point. You may move forward.
Thank you. Did David Kessel during that conversation indicate, did the conversation take place at Backstage Cafe when you met with David?
No, I don't think so.
Where'd y'all meet?
I don't think we met.
Where did you have your conversation?
On the phone, I think.
I see. Okay. My mistake. And you've already indicated that the Kessel brothers, well, David Kessel is somewhat associated with, well, not somewhat, but he's associated with Backstage Cafe. And after Lana Clarkson's death, you've indicated that you stopped promoting at other clubs and began promoting exclusively at a single club, correct?
Yes,
Which club is that?
Backstage. And may I finish an answer? Is that
There's more to it? Yes,
Yes.
go ahead.
the reason being?
No. I didn't
Well,
have, Your Honor, this is non-responsive. Sir, what?
I know what the question was. That question has been answered. You may
Thanks.
proceed.
Oh,
You'll get a chance.
okay.
Let me gather my thoughts for a second.
Okay. And mine. Thank you.
By the way, you indicated that you were in fact interviewed, ma'am, by Tawny Tyndall on a couple of occasions.
Yes.
Who you interviewed with?
Who was there with us?
You know, that was a bad question because you've indicated that there were a couple of different interviews, correct?
Yeah.
All right, let me withdraw that and then see if I can ask a better question.
Okay.
What were the dates when you were interviewed?
Oh, my. I didn't write that down. I don't know.
And if you didn't write that down, you don't have an independent recollection of it.
No.
And this goes to, again, what we all fall prey to, which is a kind of a failing memory or a hazy memory about specific details, correct?
Well, those details to me are important details of my life.
Okay. Let's do it this way. How many times were you interviewed by Ms. Tyndall?
Twice, I think.
And of those 2 times, approximately when did those interviews take place?
One was about maybe 2 years ago, and one was not this. What year are we? 07?
This is 2007.
I think 06.
Okay. December 28th, 2005 sound about
Oh, yeah, that's it.
First one?
December 2005, that's correct.
For the first one? Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. And then you were interviewed yet again in 2006, January of 2006, correct?
That sounds about right.
A few weeks later, is that right? Okay. During the first interview, who was there?
I think just me.
Okay. During the second interview, who was there?
Jen and I.
You and Jennifer Hayes?
Yes.
And that's the same Jennifer Hayes that testified earlier in this case?
Yes.
All right. Do you remember having any kind of a third interview with Ms. Tyndall or no?
Maybe, but not really.
Okay. During the first interview, where did that take place? The one that you said you were alone.
W China's Bistro, Redondo Beach.
Okay. So at a restaurant.
Yes.
And that's the December 28, 2005 interview, correct?
Yes.
All right. Did you two have dinner together? Did you meet in a back room? How did that interview go?
We met at a booth and I think shared something to eat. Yes.
Okay. And that was at China Bistro, you said,
Yes.
on December 28th.
Yes.
Real quick, where's Kincaid's restaurant?
That's Redondo Beach on the pier.
Okay. Did you meet at Kincaid's maybe?
Well, Kincaid's was, well, yes, but I thought that was the second interview with Jennifer Hayes is where we met at Kincaid's.
I see.
We're going to go ahead and take our noon recess at this time. Keep in mind the admonition, ladies and gentlemen, 1:30 this afternoon. The witness will return at that time.
When we left off, we were talking about some of the conversations that you had, the interviews that you had, and you had had with Tawny Tyndall. I was trying to figure out kind of where and when those conversations took place. One of the last things I asked, and I'm still confused about it, you indicated that your December conversation took place at China Bistro, correct?
Yes, that's wrong.
Okay. Obviously, over the lunch hour, I think I saw you in the hallway meeting with Ms. Tyndall.
Yes.
Okay. And Ms. Tyndall obviously went over your previous reports with you, correct?
Correct.
All right. And you have now refreshed your recollection. Your memory was incorrect about where you actually met the first time. Is that right?
Yes.
Where did you meet?
The first time she came to my house and I couldn't meet with her at that time and I told her to leave because I was afraid.
Well, was there an interview?
No.
Okay. When was the first time you actually interviewed with Ms. Tyndall?
December 28th. So,
2005.
yes, at Kincaid's.
Okay. So it was Kincaid's.
Yes.
And that's another restaurant in, I think you said Redondo Beach.
Yes.
Who was there during that interview?
Jennifer Hayes.
So she was there at Kincaid's with you when you were interviewing with Ms. Tyndall.
Yes.
The three of you had dinner?
Yes.
Did the three of you order drinks?
I had one glass of wine because I was shaking and scared.
Was Ms. Tyndall drinking?
No iced tea.
Was Jennifer drinking? And I mean, when I say drinking, obviously, I mean alcohol.
No, not that I remember.
Okay, so of the three of you, you were the only one that was consuming any alcoholic beverage.
Yes.
All right, and you indicated that you just had one glass of wine.
One glass of wine.
Is that throughout the entirety of dinner?
Yes.
During the course of dinner, was Ms. Tyndall taking notes?
Yes.
Okay. Was she also ordering food along with you and Jennifer?
Did she eat? Yes.
In other words, did everybody eat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
After dinner, where did y'all go?
Home.
Okay. That was the December 28th interview, correct?
Yes.
When was the next time you met with Ms. Tyndall?
March of 06, I believe.
And in 06, where did that meeting take place?
She's China Bistro.
Okay. Who was there at that meeting?
Myself and
Yeah.
Connie.
Was Jennifer there at that one?
No.
So you had a conversation with Ms. Tyndall at that time, correct?
Yes.
Was that over dinner also?
I think so.
Any drinks?
I don't remember.
Okay. And what about the third interview? Was there a third interview?
No.
Okay. Did y'all leave that location and go someplace else?
No.
At any point did you go, I'm sorry, at any point did Ms. Tyndall meet you at the Backstage Cafe?
Yes, it wasn't. Yes, she came by. It wasn't to meet with me.
Okay, when was that?
Oh, that I don't remember.
Does January 17th, 2006 sound correct?
It could be.
Okay. On January 17th, 2006, well, let's ask it this way. Was it around 9:30 at night that Ms. Tyndall showed up at Backstage Cafe?
I never got there before 9:30, so it had to be after 9:30.
Okay. Did she come with anybody else?
Not that I remember.
Do you remember Jennifer Hayes being with her?
Oh, not with her, but Jen comes almost every Tuesday night to my club with me.
Okay. Was this a Tuesday night?
Yes.
And this was one of the Backstage Cafe, I don't know what else, other word to use it, maybe you can, I don't know how else to phrase it, maybe you can correct me. Club promotions?
Yeah, it's my Tuesday night
Okay.
for 10 years.
All right. Jennifer was there
Yeah.
and Tawny Tyndall was there.
Yes.
Isn't it true that Tawny Tyndall and Jennifer got to the location about the same time? They followed each other over there?
I would not know that.
They didn't indicate that to you one way or the
No.
other? Okay.
No. Jen, excuse me one second. Jen usually shows up about the same time I do, so she knows when I get there.
Okay. Did Ms. Tyndall engage in any kind of a conversation with you at that time?
I wouldn't remember.
Okay. In fact, did you review any report from January 17th indicating a conversation that Ms. Tyndall had with you concerning some of these events and the case that's now pending before the bench? Correct.
I don't believe so. It's kind of hard because it gets loud and I have to entertain everybody. So the minute I get there, I sort of have to snap on.
Okay. Do you remember Ms. Tyndall being escorted over to, or finding somehow, one way or the other, finding a table that you were seated at?
Yeah, I think she sat at the end of the table.
Okay. And you two did in fact talk, correct?
I don't remember talking. I'm sure I said hello. I don't really remember talking.
But you don't remember having any kind of a conversation with Ms. Tyndall about, for instance, Kim Gregory or another House of Blues employee or Lana Clarkson in general?
Not really.
Okay. Is it true, I was going to say Ms. Pye, is that correct? By the way,
That's what
I think Ms. Hayes may have told us this. That's your legal name, correct?
Pi is my first three initials, so Lana coined me as the Pi.
Okay. And you changed your name legally to Punkin, right?
Punkin, P-U-N-K-I-N.
Punkin, not pumpkin, like the big round fruit or vegetable, I don't know.
Vegetable. I'm a farm girl.
Squash.
Yeah, it's a vegetable.
All right, so you legally changed your name to Pumpkin, which is an iteration of pumpkin, correct? Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay, and so you are known as Pumpkin Pie.
Yes.
All right. In fact, there was a conversation about Kim Gregory and a couple of other folks surrounding the House of Blues at that particular location, at the Backstage Cafe with Miss Tawny Tyndall, correct?
I have no memory of that.
Did you review a report from January 17th?
No.
Okay. Might it refresh your recollection if you were to review a page of it?
Sure.
It may or may not, just let me know.
Yeah, we can try.
Or maybe the first line or two.
Oh, here.
Wherever you want to look, whatever refreshes your recollection.
This is everybody that was there that night.
I'm going to ask you not to speak to yourself. Unfortunately, that's a habit that we all have. I just want you to read to yourself a couple of lines and see if that refreshes your recollection about the date
Okay.
and who was there.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm a slow reader.
Okay. Does this at least...
Do you want me to read from here down or no?
No. Does this refresh just the little bit that you've read? I know you haven't read the whole thing. It's a page and a half or a page and a quarter. Does that refresh your recollection about some contact that you had with Ms. Tyndall at Backstage Cafe? Not really. Okay, fair enough.
Sorry.
If it doesn't, it does. That's why we do this.
I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. I'm going to be sorry about that.
Those nights tend to run into each other.
All right. And when you were there, normally, you're drinking, correct?
Normally.
All right. You read in this particular report the beginning couple of lines that indicated that Ms. Tyndall suggested that you may be tipsy, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that maybe why you're having a little bit of a hard time remembering your conversation, if there was one, with you and Ms. Tyndall?
Nope.
You just don't remember in general.
I just don't remember in general. Honestly, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. May I have just a moment, Your Honor? Thank you. I'm looking for a particular note that I can't seem to put my finger on. Let me just go by memory and ask you if you recall, just came to me. In June of 2003, that's when you came to realize the connection between David Kessel, and Philip Spector, correct?
Yes.
All right. Some months after that, as a matter of fact, would have been about a year and a half after that, you were contacted by district attorney investigators in this case, Brian Bennett and Bill Freya. You remember those two gentlemen?
Yes.
Okay. And Bennett and Freya met you in November of 2005, correct? Does that sound about right?
Yes.
All right.
Sounds right.
During that time, before you met with detectives Bennett and Freya, had you contacted anybody? And I had asked you this about Detective Fournier and Tomlin, and I want to broaden that. That's the reason for this question. Had you contacted anybody in law enforcement to indicate to them that you had, in fact, lied to the police originally, or you wanted to modify or change any part of your statement? Did you contact anybody?
No.
Okay. Now, one of the things that did come up when you conversed with Detectives Bennett and Freya was that you wanted to write a book about this. Isn't that correct?
No.
You never told Detective Bennett, Brian Bennett, that you couldn't wait for all this to be over so that you could publish a book about your life, including this portion of it?
No, no, no.
What did you say with regard to, yeah, what did you say with regard to writing a book?
Well, I don't remember saying that at all. But there's a writer from Music Connection, a gal that comes to my club all the time, and she wanted to write a book on my life. And we had just, we've never gone anywhere with it yet, but because of all this, but it was going to start the day Lana died and go backwards because that was my life, was with her.
So in fact, this book that you were talking about would have included Lana Clarkson, a large part of it, and Lana Clarkson's death.
Not her death, from that day backwards.
Right. Well, that day is the day she died.
I'm not going forward with her death. I'm just saying when I lost her, because my life with her is what the book should be about.
Okay. So this book was, in fact, intended, at least in the first iterations in your mind, was about Lana Clarkson's life and your life with her, correct?
Well, no, it's about me. It's my life. It's my life and what I do, music and all my antics. And Lana's a huge part of my life and those antics.
So you decided at some point, in connection with this other writer, that you were going to draft some kind of a manuscript or a book, hopefully, about your life and the inclusion of Lana Clarkson in that life, correct?
Yeah, she's a huge 10 years of my life. I can't really have my life without her in it.
So if this book was about your life, as you've indicated, this book would also be in huge part, to use your word huge, in huge part about Lana Clarkson.
She was a huge part of my life.
All right.
Yeah.
And the reason that you wanted to write this book, obviously, is to memorialize your the life and times of Punkin Pie, along with Lana Clarkson, correct?
No, I didn't want to write the book. I had never approached anyone to write a book. She approached me to write a biography on my life.
Okay. And did you agree?
Oh, I said, sure, let's, this was 2.5 years ago.
Okay. So no matter whose idea it was, at some point, the idea was fostered, if you will.
Yeah.
And you've begun writing that, have you not? You've begun writing some kind of a manuscript about this?
Nope.
Did you tell Detectives Bennett and Freya that you couldn't wait for this to be over, this meaning the trial to be over, so that you could write a book about it?
I don't remember saying that.
Okay. In fact, if you did write a book about this, obviously it would be for profit, correct?
About what?
I mean, you wouldn't agree to write a book about anything. I mean, be it a children's story or a story of your life, you wouldn't agree to write anything unless there was going to be a little bit of a profit in there. I mean,
I would hope if someone's writing a book about my life that it's about me and somehow that makes a profit eventually.
Right. I mean, obviously, if in fact you were going to write a book or assist in writing a book, and let's say you had a ghostwriter, not unusual, and this was going to be a biography about you and also a book about Lana Clarkson, that there would be some payout at the end of the day.
Excuse me, objection. Ms. Stacy Evans, she said it's not about Lana Clarkson.
It's not about
Excuse me.
It's about me.
Stop,
Ms.
folks.
Stacy Evans.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you. The objection is sustained. Rephrase the question.
Sure. You certainly, if you were going to write a book, or if you were going to have a ghostwriter write a book about your life, which includes, in huge part, to use your words, Lana Clarkson, there would be some financial benefit at the end of the day.
You would think.
Yeah. Well, let me ask it this way. Didn't you contact a publicist named Elliot Mintz about this potential of writing a book or publishing some kind of a story of your life, including parts about Lana Clarkson?
Nope. Do you know why I contacted Elliot Mintz?
Actually, if I ask that question, I'll expect to get an answer. But until then, let me just try to work through my
Okay.
notes, okay? I'm not smart enough to telegraph your answers. I need to ask the question and find out what the answer is. Did you or did you not contact Elliot Mintz?
Yes.
Okay. Is Elliot Mintz a publicist?
Yes.
Is there some connection between Elliot Mintz and Philip Spector?
So I've heard later down the line.
Okay. And you understand, at least as you sit here today, you understand that Elliot Mintz is another longtime friend of Philip Spector.
So I understand now, yes.
All right. Have you been approached, Ms. Pye, by any other news media outlet? I'm going to make this as broad as possible. News media outlet or publication or reporter or publicist or anything like that about you and possibly this case?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Not any reporters from National Enquirer, for instance?
No,
Okay, had no contact.
not that I'm aware of.
All right. When you say not that you're aware of, Is it possible that you could have been contacted by somebody, but you just can't remember?
Well, a lot of people contacted me, a ton. And I turned them all down under the guises of someone who told me to turn them all down.
Okay. When this is all said and done, now that you've been called in this case, fine, it's on national TV, do you intend to follow up on the potential of writing a book about your life and that to include your life with Lana Clarkson?
First of all, I wasn't writing it, someone else was, and I haven't really given it a second thought. This has been the hardest 4 years of my life, so I haven't really given it a second thought.
Okay, so it's possible, in fact, that once you're done with this or you're part of this, that you'll pursue that.
Over.
Like I said, I haven't given it a second thought.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, she wrote a tiny little draft, and that's all I've ever seen.
Okay, so there,
I've never written a word.
all right, so there is, in fact, a draft manuscript out there floating around, tiny as it may be, or let's call it a treatment, tiny as it may be, it's out there floating around.
No, it's not floating around.
When I say out there, I mean it's not in the possession of the writer, it's now in your possession, and you at least had access to it, correct?
Yeah.
And you're expected during the course of this writing, this ghostwriting, you're expected to review the manuscript as it's written, and of course make changes for accuracy and things of that nature,
Well,
correct?
it's not a manuscript. It's that tiny, I don't know what you call that when you're a writer and you do the little thing, the draft.
I understand.
You know, it's a little synopsis of what the book would be.
Okay, let's call
And then you try and go get a publisher or something. You know, I don't know much about
So let's call it a treatment. Let's agree on that, because I'm not in the publishing business here,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's call it a treatment if it's not a manuscript.
Right.
In fact, there is a treatment out there that you've had access to, obviously to make changes and flesh out certain factual either inaccuracies or accuracies. And that treatment would subsequently be used to shop around to publicists to see if that could, I'm sorry, I should say publishing houses, to see if that could in fact be published, correct?
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's the stage that it's in right now, correct?
Yeah, it's not really going anywhere, and she hasn't done anything, and neither have I.
And of course, when this is all said and done, in other words, when you're off the stand in this case and you're no longer a witness in this case, that would be a time at which you and this ghostwriter might step forward, if you will, and put it back out there for potential publication.
I have no idea what she's doing now, and
Your Honor, for the record, I guess I should ask the witness to hold on just a second.
That's all right. The answer is in and the objection is overruled.
Thank you. You don't know what she's doing right now?
no.
All right, but obviously you expect to have future contact with her, correct?
I guess.
Okay. If you'll bear with me, Ms. Pye, I'm almost finished.
By the way, can I make one quick little?
Not unless I ask. Hard to get used to.
Just
isn't it?
don't know me well, do you?
Yeah, I know it's hard to get used to. You'll have plenty of time to answer any questions that Mr. Rosen
Okay,
has.
sorry, I got it.
One of the things that you indicated on direct examination, and I'd like to ask you real quick about, is Lana Clarkson's drinking habits. Mr. Rosen asked you if you had seen her consume alcoholic beverages, correct?
Within 10 years, yes, I would say that's correct.
Obviously, I mean, unless you're a teetotaler and just flat don't drink. Most friends are going to see others drink a beer,
Or
glass of wine.
you're one of our friends that are in AA now, yes.
Okay, okay. And Lana was not one of those people.
No,
She was never an AA.
Nope.
Okay, she never had a drinking problem to your knowledge.
no.
She was what you would consider to be a, what kind of drinker?
Festive drinker,
Social drinker?
social drinker, that's the word. Festive is my word.
All right, that's okay. And you know, I should follow up on that. When you say a festive drinker, it was interesting to hear you comment to Mr. Rosen about how she acted when she consumed alcohol. You said that she was very vibrant, correct? Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
You certainly didn't describe her as a sloppy drunk.
No,
All right. As a matter of fact, you indicated that I think Mr. Rosen asked you specifically if you had ever seen her take any of her pain medication for her wrists, for instance, and at the same time either drink wine or some other alcohol or whatever it was that she was drinking, correct?
yes,
And the words that you used, Ms. Pye, were when she did drink alcohol and she took pain medication, you're not sure which, but she became much more gregarious, much more demonstrative, much more happy, correct?
yes. Sometimes happy, but sometimes very demonstrative.
Okay. Those were your words. Gregarious, demonstrative, happy, correct? Mm-hmm. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. In fact, you talked about her strength as well, that she was a taller woman, a statuesque woman, correct?
Yes,
And although she was statuesque, you didn't consider her to be overtly powerful physically, correct?
powerful in her own right. She considered herself powerful, but
Talking about physically, in other words, she's not,
not a bodybuilder.
that's my question. She's not out
Bodybuilder.
curling 50-pound weights or nothing. Okay.
She was a feminine person.
A girly girl.
Yeah.
All right. In fact, she had very tiny, slender little wrists, didn't she?
Yes.
And that was the subject of her fall back in 2001, December 2001, we've heard so much about. And she shattered both wrists. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so obviously after 2001, Lana, the girly girl, was very tender where those wrists were concerned, correct?
Yes. After she broke her wrist. Yes.
I mean, you never saw her out there, in a kickboxing class, slugging it out with a heavy bag.
No.
All right. The fact of the matter is, you noticed, obviously, that she still was in some level of pain every once in a while with those wrists.
Yes.
She was still in the healing process, correct?
Yes.
But by 2003, Ms. Pye, isn't it true that she had basically healed? Although she might have some remnants of pain here or there, she had mobility in her wrists and she was able to, for instance, drive
Yes.
and work
Yep.
and carry out her job at the House of Blues.
Yes.
All right. The fact of the matter is, you indicated to Detective Tomlin and Detective Fournier in your very first interview with them, I asked you to go all the way back in your memory to 2003. In your very first conversation with them, you indicated that the only time you'd ever seen Lana, as you would describe her, to be depressed was when she broke her wrists. Is that right?
Yes.
And that was obviously a devastating time for her, correct?
Yes.
She was an actress. She was used to being in front of the camera, doing things, going on auditions and things of that nature. Is that right?
Yes.
With a couple of snapped wrists or shattered wrists in halos, she's not going to be able to do that.
No, she wasn't.
All right. So the only time you saw her depressed, as you put it, was when she snapped her wrists.
That's what I said that day.
All right. And also, I think we just finished talking about this, by 2003, those wrists were basically healed, or they were well on their way to being healed, correct?
I believe so.
As a matter of fact, they were healed enough that she went out to kind of pull herself up by her bootstraps. She went out and got a job at the House of Blues.
Yes.
All right. And you understood, by the way, did you ever visit her at the House of Blues?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, while she worked there?
Yes.
So you knew that she got a job not just slinging hash at a local Denny's, not that there's anything wrong with that,
Right.
but in fact, this was a very different kind of job, correct?
Yes.
As a matter of fact, this wasn't even like a hostess job at a good restaurant. I mean, it was far and away above that insofar as its status in Hollywood is concerned, correct?
Yes.
She was the hostess at the VIP room at one of the top clubs in all of Los Angeles,
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
And you indicated that she was very, very happy to have gotten this job. Is that right?
She put herself into it and got herself very excited over it. Yes.
And that was no small part, Ms. Pye, because she told you, this is a wonderful opportunity for me to meet new people. These are industry folks. These are people that are movers and shakers here in Hollywood, and this could certainly help my career if I could network and meet the right folks. Is that right?
That's what she felt. But after that, it sort of hit home that it didn't really turn out to be that.
And you did indicate that there was a conversation where she was frustrated and said, oh my God, I think your phrase was, I gotta pull a chair out for someone I used to audition with or something
Yes.
like that. And you could certainly understand that frustration, correct?
Yeah.
But by the same token, the other side of that coin was she's not slinging hash at a Denny's. She's actually working at one of the top or most exclusive VIP rooms, foundation room at the House of Blues in all of Los Angeles, which is arguably maybe someone have a fight about New York, but maybe the best location in all of the country to work.
Objection compounded.
Overruled. You may.
Agree?
Yeah. It was a great location.
Yeah. And a great job.
Yeah.
And you said yourself, she put a happy face on it, notwithstanding the fact that there might be some frustration about having to put on some shoes and a skirt and nylons and do a corporate, quote unquote, corporate job, correct?
Yes.
All right. As a matter of fact, during your conversation with Mr. Rosen earlier this morning, one of the things that you said was sort of a hallmark of Lana Clarkson was, I think I got your quote right, she always could put on a happy face.
Yes, in the public, yeah.
All right. And insofar as that's concerned, and obviously anybody is not going to air every bit of dirty laundry out in public. I mean, you agree, correct?
Yes.
I mean, we all do that as a matter of course every day. We might come into this courtroom, for instance, and there might be a particular persona that we don't allow those closest to us to see, for instance.
Yes.
All right. If you got a flat tire on the way to the courthouse this morning, you might be really frustrated, and you might be angry, and you might cuss a little bit and kick the tire. But then when you walk into a courtroom or you walk into a business environment, you put on a little bit better air, a little more professional air, and you don't necessarily show everybody every single mood, correct?
Yes, and she was very professional.
All right. So what you're suggesting by your comments, I assume, is that Lana, although she might be frustrated by the industry, correct?
Yes.
Might be frustrated by having to take a job she didn't necessarily want to take because she's herself an actress, correct?
Yeah.
The fact that she might not be in the financial position that she might want to be. I mean, everybody fancies themselves being Bill Gates at some point. None of us are,
Be nice.
I guess, except for Bill. There's some frustration along with that, correct?
Yes.
And you would air those same concerns and frustrations when you would go through your highs and lows because you were girlfriends.
Sure.
All right. There was nothing unusual about that. Is that right?
Objective this one, this is an answer.
I'm tending to go in a little bit repetitive fashion. If you're going forward, please do.
Sure. What I'm getting at, Ms. Pye, is not once did you consider her mood such that you needed to step in, did you?
The day that I got the phone call, I later was concerned that I should have stepped in.
Did you do anything?
I calmed her down, and I told her that everyone that walks in the door at the House of Blues could be a new prospect for her life, or a new husband, as a husband could walk in the door. And I calmed her down, and we talked through it, and it was very frightening.
When you hung up with her, notwithstanding the fact that you indicated that she was very frustrated, when you hung up with her, you had calmed her down, had you not?
Yes.
All right.
It took a while, but yes.
Okay. How long would you say that conversation happened?
I don't really remember, but I remember it being a while.
Okay.
It was a pretty lengthy conversation.
And in fact, once you hung up the phone, you were satisfied that she had been frustrated, she had been angry, she had been mad, or a combination of all three. Yet, when you hung up the phone, she was fine.
It was more than that. It was more than angry, frustrated, and mad. I've never heard her say those things or be like that in her life. So,
You considered her
Within her answer.
so I was just greatly concerned.
all right. You said she was your soulmate, yes?
Yes,
She was your family.
yes,
She was your friend.
yes,
She was your sister and your mother, I think you said.
yes,
She was as close to you as you could have another person.
yes,
All right. You felt like she was, during this conversation, and at least you felt like she was depressed or upset.
yes,
And you've indicated to Mr. Rosen that she said something that frightened you.
yes,
Now, what you indicated on direct examination when Mr. Rosen asked you the question, was she said, I can't take it anymore. I don't want to be here in this town. I want out. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Is that right?
yes. I'm not sure if that's quite the words that I have somewhere on a statement, but
Okay.
that's what I'm remembering. But there was a few more things that were said.
All right. But of course, when you were asked what your best memory of her statements were, that's basically what it included, correct?
Yes,
And then Mr. Rosen showed you a report taken by Tawny Tyndall that had a different statement in there.
yes,
All right. And of course, the fact that you were so close to her soulmate, her sister, her mother, her family, when you ended this conversation, did you contact Lana's mother?
no,
Did you contact Lana's sister?
no,
Did you contact some suicide prevention agency?
no,
Did you call any hotlines?
no,
Did you get in your car, Ms. Pye, and drive over to Lana's house and pick her up and take her to a doctor so she could seek counseling or anything like that?
no, because at the end of the conversation, she had stopped crying. I had calmed her down. I had tried to give her hope about the future, and she calmed down and was okay by the end of our conversation. And then, of course, we talked and talked after that as well.
All right. And in every one of those subsequent conversations, Ms. Pye, safe to assume, based on your testimony here, that she was fine. She was obviously in a down spot versus an up spot, but she wasn't saying anything that frightened or bothered.
Right, because what I got out of the conversation is it wasn't imminent right that second. She wasn't saying to me right that second, this is the end of the line right now. What she was saying to me is that's how she's feeling.
All right, and of course.
So right then and there wasn't the imminent, like there wasn't something in her hand or, you know what I'm saying, a bottle of pills or, you know, there was nothing.
And of course, in your subsequent conversations with her, there was nothing of that nature.
There was just a couple more conversations before that weekend.
Right, and there was nothing of that nature in any of those conversations.
Right, correct.
And you were contacted just days later, correct, by officers Fournier and Tomlin, correct?
Actually, by Kim Gregory.
Well, I'm talking about Tomlin and Fournier.
Okay.
They contacted you just days later after that phone conversation on the day that Lana Clarkson died.
Yes.
And they asked you the specific question that Mr. Rosen asked you. They asked you the specific questions that I'm asking you. And to them, you told the detectives, the homicide detectives, there was nothing suicidal about Lana Clarkson. You told the detectives there was nothing depressive about her, with the exception of a year ago when she fell and broke her wrists, correct?
Yes, and that's because someone told me that I couldn't say those things to them without a lawyer.
And in fact, your change in testimony here today, your change in testimony would have nothing to do with your connection to Philip Spector through the Backstage Cafe, would it?
Can I make something perfectly clear?
I'd just like it if you'd answer.
Sorry. No. Backstage Cafe is a separate entity from David Kessel.
And you have, your testimony is, your change in testimony today has nothing to do with any imminent or pending book deal about your life and Lana's life that may be for financial gain in the future. Nothing to do with that, correct?
Nothing.
Thank you.
You're kidding, right?
Anything further? Redirect.
Just read it to yourself, please.
Okay.
Have you read that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And having read that, does that refresh your memory that that's what you told Connie Sandell when she came to visit the Backstage Cafe in the evening hours of January 17th?
It doesn't, I guess so. I see it there.
Objection. I think it was the answer that I guess so.
Right. Unless it refreshes your recollection, then at this point, the objection is sustained, the answer is stricken, and the jury is admonished to disregard it.
And I would ask to, just so I'm clear, because of the prior answers, I don't know what strike, Judge. The entire portion of what was attempted to be impeachment material should be stricken from the record if that's not. Is that clear as mud?
You need to, Mr. Rosen, what I will do, I'll give you an opportunity to see if the witness's memory is actually refreshed as to that conversation. If it's not, then I'll strike it and admonish the jury.
Okay, thank you very well. Ms. Laughlin, having read that, and if you need to see it again, I'll bring it up to you. If you need to read the whole report, I'll let you do it. You just let me know, okay?
Right.
Mr. Jackson went into this with you on his cross.
I did not objection to the form of the question and the editorializing, and it's in fact not evidence.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of editorializing. Just go ahead and read or ask your question. Let's put it that way.
Very well. Do you need to, would you like to see this again to see if it will refresh your memory?
No, I just don't remember that evening per se.
Okay. Do you remember saying these words to Tawny? I know you don't remember the evening that well, but do you remember saying the words that I read to you to Tawny that particular evening?
No, I don't.
Okay.
All of it stricken.
All right. Then everything from on redirect, from the time that we came back from the bench, when Mr. Rosen has asked this witness to refresh her recollection, since she's now indicated her recollection is not refreshed, you are to disregard the questions. You are to disregard the answers. They are stricken, and you're admonished not to consider them in any way. You may proceed.
Thank you. Sir. Ms. Laughlin, when Mr. Jackson started his cross-examination of you, he asked you whether or not you knew Lana to be able to put on a happy face, a game face. Remember that?
Yes.
You said yes, correct?
Yes.
Also, he asked you if Ms. Clarkson suggested to you that she had a glorious view of the future, and you said yes, remember?
Yes.
And he also asked you whether or not she could bring you up when you were down.
Yes.
She would light up a room when she would come in, correct?
Yes.
Did you know her sometimes to behave that way when she was covering up hurt feelings, depression, sadness?
Objection. This calls for rank speculation.
It may or may not, given what the witness has testified to is the extent of the relationship. I'll allow her to answer that. Overrule.
Repeat the question one more time.
Sure. What I was asking you is did you know her to behave this way sometimes when she was covering up pain, hurt, sadness, depression?
Yes, she
Go ahead.
prided herself because she could, she was an actress and she always put on the happy face. That was her hat.
And within 3 or 4 days of Lana's passing, February 3rd of '03, you told us about a phone conversation you had with her, correct?
Yes.
And in that phone conversation, you told us that you were very concerned. You noticed a different Lana, correct?
Yes, and this is all leading to
It's foundation, Your Honor.
Well, it may be foundational, but ask it in a non-leading fashion.
Very well. When you had this conversation with her on the phone, was she putting on a happy face?
No.
Was she lighting up your room?
No.
Was she discussing a glorious view of the future with you?
No.
It was not a happy conversation.
It wasn't a happy conversation. It was the saddest one I've ever had.
Regarding the specific statements that you have testified to here in court that Lana spoke to you about ending it, about it being over, did you ever speak with Miss Donahue about those statements of Lana's?
Yeah.
Did you ever speak with Mr. Lindblom about those statements of Lana's?
Yes.
Did you convey to both Miss Donahue and Mr. Lindblom those statements of Lana's?
Of course.
And their advice was?
Don't talk to the press. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell the detectives. Keep it to yourself. I don't know if I talked to Barbie for the detectives, but I did Anne Marie.
Let's turn to another area that Mr. Jackson questioned you about. He asked you about something about Star Magazine. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And did you ever conduct an interview with Star Magazine to promote yourself in any way?
No. May I explain?
Yeah, let me ask the question. In asking you about the Star Magazine situation, I think you indicated that you never spoke with them.
No.
And that it was identified in the article that the source of the information was one of Lana Clarkson's closest friends. And then you ended the answer to Mr. Jackson by saying, and I think I know who that was. Could you tell us who it was, and would you please explain that situation clearly?
Yes.
And it sounds like it calls for speculation.
Overruled, it's basically, she answered her, you made a certain, during your cross, you raised certain inferences. I believe she has the right to rebut them. So you may proceed.
Thank you, Ron. That means you can answer the
This
question.
is what happened. The very next night after she passed away was my Tuesday night. I didn't want to go, of course, but I knew that everyone in this whole town, in this whole world, is going to be looking at me, for the answer and, hi, how are you? And what happened? Everyone. So I had my friends scoop me up and set me down, take me there. And when I sat down, there was 2 women across from me, and one of them said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear about what happened. You were so close to her. You were her you were her really good friend." And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I was her best friend." She said, "Oh, so you guys talked every day?" And I said, like 10 times a day, at least 3 to 10 times a day. Then another person sitting there said, "Oh, Pi, by the way, this woman is Linda or something from the Star Magazine." And I looked at her and I said, "I'm sorry, I cannot talk to you." And that was the end of it. But there was another girl that was in our mix that's a good friend that was privy to me and my information, knew Lana very well, knew all of us very well. So when that article came out, the first 2 lines seemed like Linda said those 2 lines that I said to her. She's my best friend. We talked 3 to 10 times a day. The rest of the article was this other person.
Do you know that other person's name?
I can only guess.
No, you can't guess.
Well,
We don't allow it.
okay, sorry. I think it's a girl named.
Objection. Sounds like she says she can only guess.
I think she's trying to tell us what she understands the person's name to be. Overruled. You may answer.
Yeah, it's, percentage of a woman named Angelique.
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 Do you have a last name?
And may I finish one more thing too? In our,
Finishing your answer, yes.
yes, in our circle, there are a lot of people that are there a lot of the time. So it could be her, it could have been someone else, but it certainly was not me.
Okay.
Swear to God.
Ms. Laughlin, as a result of you coming to court and testifying last week and this week, have you had some unpleasant remarks made by friends?
Oh, I've had unpleasant remarks made for a long time, yeah.
Are you gaining anything by coming here and testifying?
Oh, no.
Now, Mr. Jackson asked you about your memory and your memories of certain things. And you made the statement, I remember pretty much everything, may I explain? And Mr. Jackson went on. I want to go back to that for a moment and give you that opportunity to explain. Do you remember that portion was cross-examination where he was asking you about your ability to remember things?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay, and like I said, you answered, I remember pretty much everything, may I explain? I'm going to give you that opportunity. Go ahead and explain to the jury what you meant.
But I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't remember if it was pertaining to what he
He was
said.
asking you about, for example, dates.
Oh, about my memory. Oh. No, of course I know what you're talking about.
Okay. That's all right. It's all right. Look, my fault probably is not guiding you correctly. Just
Yeah.
turn to the jury and explain what you meant by that. May I explain? I want to give you that chance now.
When Jennifer Hayes said the other day that Pi doesn't have a memory, Lana was her memory. Lana, if you knew Lana, she's an Aries. Aries, if any of you out there are Aries, they're right about everything. So the one thing you do is you don't question an Aries because you're going to be wrong. So our joke always was Lana was my memory because if I remembered it, I'd remember it wrong and she'd remember it right. So that's why it's not that I don't have a memory. I just sort of gave up and let her be the memory of all of our, we did so many things together. We went so many places together. She was the one who could, remember it accurately, because if I remembered it, it wouldn't really be accurate. So, well, in her eyes. So that's why I said, let me explain.
Okay.
And she was great. I mean, she was a computer in her head.
You've already told us you're not good on things like dates and times and days and things like that. Let me ask you this. Do you have any problem remembering what she said to you at that party when Michael Bay dissed her?
No.
And do you have any trouble remembering what she said to you in that terrible phone call that you took 3 or 4 days before her passing?
Sadly, no. I wish. Yeah.
Mr. Jackson started out one of his questions by asking you, as close as you were to Lana Clarkson, and then he asked you a series of questions. How close were you to Lana Clarkson? How close would you describe your relationship?
I've never had a better friend in my whole life. If I was here today on some other trial, she'd be glued to my right arm. She'd be helping me in. She'd make sure I had food and water. She was the only person I knew in my whole life that would say, Pi's blood sugar's dropping, my Pi, we've got to feed my Pi. She was like, there was no one else like her in the world.
Did she ever use the word family in terms of how she felt about you?
Yes, and she used to say that I saved her life because when we met, she was going through some time in the 80s, wasn't.
Objection, this is irrelevant.
Anyway, she used to say that I saved her.
Objection.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, I didn't know where the answer was going. It's irrelevant.
It just goes to show the relationship, but I want to be very clear, don't get into specific events or whatever. I think the question has been asked and answered quite
I
frankly.
think it is. Did you actually contact the defense or did they contact you?
They contacted me.
Okay. And I want to get the chronology of this correct, okay? The first persons you spoke with, the very first persons you spoke with, were not people from the defense team, is that correct?
Correct.
The first person you spoke with was Mr. Tom, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy, who was one of the 2 case agents on this case, correct?
Correct.
And you knew that he did not work for the defense team, he worked for the prosecution.
Yes.
And you first spoke with him, as I understand it, February 3rd, 2003, at about 9 o'clock at night, correct?
Yes.
I think that just the time of the night is purely foundational. I'll allow that one.
Thank you. Then, as I understand it, you then had a period of time that went by and you didn't speak with anybody from law enforcement or the defense, correct?
I'm sorry, counsel is leading.
The way, where he's going, I don't think there's really any other way to do it. It has to be sort of slightly leading. Plus, it's been testified to numerous times.
Correct, except part of the problem is her memory.
I
And
understand
when
it.
he's feeding the question to her, it doesn't test her memory.
Right now, I'm listening to the questions that are asked. I do agree they are slightly leading. I also agree that they are foundational at this point. If it gets into what I think is a memory issue, I'll sustain your objection.
Sure.
Right now, it's
Thank you,
overruled. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. You remember the question, or should I rephrase it?
No, go ahead.
The next time you spoke with somebody from either side of this lawsuit was in December specifically December 6th of '05, and that's when you spoke with Brian Bennett, correct?
Yes,
And you knew Mr. Bennett to be a DA investigator, correct?
yes,
And the next time you spoke with somebody was when you spoke with Miss Tyndall, the defense investigator, correct?
correct.
And that was three and a half weeks later, right?
Yes,
You didn't call anybody from the defense team between the date of December 6th, when you spoke with Mr. Bennett, December 6th, '05, and December 28th of '05, when you met with Ms. Tyndall, correct?
correct.
You didn't reach out to us at all, did you?
Oh, no.
Ms. Tyndall just showed up, correct?
Yes, I turned her away
Oh, you turned her away?
the first time, yeah, yeah.
So you didn't speak with her?
No, I didn't want to speak ever to anybody regarding any of this.
She identified herself, didn't she?
Yeah,
She told you she was the defense investigator,
yeah,
and you sent her packing, correct?
yeah,
And then she came back a second time,
yep.
and that's when you met with her.
Oh, she called. I called and finally I said, okay, I need to, I'll talk to you.
Okay. So in terms of sequence of when you spoke with people, you spoke with her third, not first or second, correct?
Yes,
And now I want to ask you a question. When you spoke with Mr. Bennett actually, excuse me, I misspoke. I keep saying December 6th, '05. That's the date of the report. When you spoke with Mr. Bennett, and you spoke with him on November 16th of '05, correct?
he came to my house.
Okay. Well,
Would it be fair to say you don't recall specific dates when you were interviewed?
I will never write those down or even think why I would have to remember dates when I was interviewed.
Okay.
okay, that's fine. But you do remember the interview at your house with Mr.
Of course, yeah.
And you knew he was from the DA's office?
Yes,
You knew he wasn't there on behalf of Mr. Spector, correct?
correct.
Okay, and do you recall telling him the following regarding the incident where she was being ignored by Michael Bay? Clarkson expressed this to Laughlin.
Objection, this is impeachment. First of all, it's beyond the scope of cross-examination, this particular question, and quoting would be hearsay.
Her words.
It's still hearsay.
It still can be here. The bottom line is you're going to have to come to the bench and tell me what you plan to do.
We're going to hold that in abeyance for a moment, okay? And I'm going to shift to another area.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Jackson asked you some questions about David and Daniel Kessel. You remember those questions?
Yes,
And I was regarding whether or not he was Mr. David Kessel, an investor at one of the clubs, the Backstage Club, and what that was all about, that relationship. You recall?
yes,
Let me ask you this. You've been doing the Backstage, I think you told us, for 10 years, correct?
correct.
Long before any of this happened, right?
Yes,
Did you know Mr. Spector before February 3, 1903? 2003?
no,
And do you know him today?
no,
Have you ever met the man?
no,
Never spoken to him, have you?
no,
Has he ever promised you anything financially?
no,
Has Mr. Kessel ever said to you anything along the lines of, gee, thanks for everything, I'm going to give you some money because of this?
no.
Do you even know what the relationship is between Mr. Spector and Mr. Kessel, either David or Daniel today?
Just pretty much what I read in the article.
Okay. And are you getting any favors or any benefits through the Backstage Cafe because of whatever the relationship is between the Kessels and Mr. Spector?
No, and can I say one thing about the Backstage?
Yes.
Well, it's owned by the Copeland brothers, Miles Stewart and Ian Copeland, the drummer for the Police, and the other two brothers that are in management. There's about 10 different investors, and I never even knew David was an investor. I thought he was our internet guy. That's what we used to talk about, how we were going to get the website running.
And that's where I was going to go next.
Oh.
I was going to ask you, when did you find out he was an investor?
I guess with that article, that he was, I guess, I still don't really know if he's an investor, to tell you the truth,
And did that article come out before or after February 3rd of '03?
after February 3rd.
Okay, that's what I wanted to clear up. And I assume you've never had any conversation with Mr. Kessel about his relationship with Mr. Spector, other than what you told us.
After the article, then we talked on the phone about that article, and that was that.
We need to take a recess. Back on the record, the parties are present without the jurors and the alternates, yes?
Your Honor, I'm just for a little guidance, a little situation evidentiary wise. The court was very clear about to Mr. Rosen, indicating that if he brought up the opinion basically of the witness, which I objected to as irrelevant, concerning what her thoughts were, the hell yeah statement, if you will, and what she was thinking when she talked to Tomlin, that would certainly open the door and be he would be right for cross-examination about the Rick Brody comment. However, this witness, although the bell has been rung, it can't be rung, notwithstanding the court's admonition, I think. She indicated she didn't remember making that statement under questioning by Mr. Rosen. I believe that I need to be able to confront her with the Rick Brody statement because I expect that Mr. Rosen, if he's asked, will say, I'm an impeacher with Tawny Tyndall. If I don't ask her about this statement, I then lost the opportunity to have her explain or deny the Rick Brody statement. And then I wouldn't be able to call Rick Brody back. So I understand that the court has stricken that comment. However, the jury's heard it. I simply want to inquire whether or not she remembers making a secondary comment, which Mr. Rosen fully expected by asking that first question.
I understand. I was wondering when we were going to get to that. I have slightly different feelings about that, even though, quote, the bell has been rung, that the witness did not have a memory, therefore it was stricken and the jury was admonished to disregard it. And please feel free to jump in. We discussed this at the bench, and what happened was during the discussion that was going around in sort of a free-form fashion, the parties worked it out themselves. In other words, Mr. Rosen objected, and Mr. Jackson, you ended up sort of agreeing with Mr. Rosen's objection. You agreed with it. I'm not so sure I did. And because my point is that this comment, it has nothing to do with whether it comes in rebuttal, although I certainly had ruled that way that it would. That was simply a byproduct if Mr. Rosen asked a certain set of questions, and then it would be proper cross along those lines. I believe that her statement is basically inconsistent with the statement that she made at that time, 3 weeks or so afterwards, is inconsistent with the statements that she is making, or at least the jury could view that. I should say that. It's not whether I think it is, it's whether it's legally, there's a basis for it. Obviously, the jury has to be admonished because of the nature of the statement, because there has a certain inflammatory content to it. But it certainly can be argued, and I believe you can go into it on the grounds that if she made that statement, that's inconsistent with her statements about suicide. I don't think you need, it's not in rebuttal to the question that Mr. Rosen asked, it's simply admissible on independent grounds. So you can go into it, and when you go there, let me know, because I want to admonish the jury before they hear it.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Thank you.
We don't have any foundation because of the answer.
Right. Okay. So if we can bring the jurors back and
Sure.
we can go there.
Sure. Thank you.
All right.
Just before.
Yes, Mr. Bruno.
There was an issue brought to the court's attention by Alhambra PD today.
Yes, I'm going to take, oh, yeah, I'll do it right now.
Yeah, that's what.
There's the next witness that's going to testify, and I hope we get to that witness. And there's several police officers from Alhambra. I fear that crime is running rampant in Alhambra because we have a large portion of their police department sitting in my hallway. Hopefully the criminals in Alhambra are not watching and they don't realize that. The next witness that's going to testify is a detective from Alhambra by the name of Michael Page. Detective Page does work in an undercover capacity, and at the request of the chief of police of Alhambra, and I think he makes a good point, I am ordering that the television cameras, either one of two things, they not televise his face, or if they can electronically block it out, that's fine. And as to the print photographer, I think it's a no. Okay? So we're good on that.
Just one thing, Aaron.
Yes.
The second witness.
Second witness, okay.
One quick witness and then the second.
Okay, so it'll be the second witness. His name is Michael Page, so when you hear that name, that's when the rules apply. All right, thank you. Let's bring out the jurors.
And Ms. Laughlin, when we broke, we were about to turn to another area of cross-examination by Mr. Jackson, and that's the area where you provided some answers regarding the Music Connection, a writer from the Music Connection. Remember that testimony and those questions and answers?
Yes.
Okay. And I think this was brought out by Mr. Jackson regarding that an individual, a writer from the Music Connection, wanted to write a book about your life, correct?
Yes.
And when were you contacted by this individual, this writer?
I believe in 2000, and she comes to my club all the time, so she loves music
Okay.
and knows my club and all the other clubs and loves music. Wanted to write a book about me because I'm in the music business.
So this was years before February 3rd, 2003, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And as I understand it, the interest was in writing a book about your life, not Lana's life. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Has this book been written yet?
No, not a page.
Have you been out beating the bushes, looking for publishing companies to get this marketed?
No. You have to have an agent first, and there's no agent either.
I was going to say, do you even have an agent?
No.
Have you taken any step in the direction of getting this book published?
No.
So the next question sounds silly, but I want to ask it anyway. Have you made any money as a result of this book that this writer talked to you about now 7 years ago?
Nope, because there's no book.
And Mr. Jackson then turned his attention to a gentleman named Elliot Mintz. and he asked you some questions about Mr. Mintz. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And did you at some point after the passing of Miss Clarkson contact Mr. Mintz?
Yes, the very next day, he was one of the only two people that I phoned because my phone rang off the hook, but I needed some help, so I called him.
Okay. How did you know Mr. Mintz?
Well, actually, I believe it was through Lana because they're friends. They're good friends.
Okay. And why did you select Mr. Mintz to be the individual to call?
Because he's one of the top publicists in the country, and I thought that all the media would be coming towards me because I was her friend, and I needed to have some guidance as to what to do. I was scared.
Did you call him out of fear because you thought he could provide you professional guidance since he was a publicist?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
That's his job.
Did you call him for any reason whatsoever because of Mr. Spector?
Oh, no. I had no idea.
Did you even know if they even knew each other when you reached out to him on that day?
Not a clue.
You only learned about that later down the road, is that correct?
Yes.
And let me ask you this, do you know anything about their relationship? Well, let me ask this, do you even know if they have a relationship today?
No.
Did you know if they even had a relationship last year or the year before, going back to February 3rd of 03?
No. I don't know anything about their relationship. He was a friend of Lana's and thus a friend of mine, and he's very professional in this business, so I called him to ask him what to do. If the press comes towards me, what do I do?
Okay.
He's an expert.
In terms of this book that's going to be written about your life, have you written any part of that book to date?
No, not a word.
I think you mentioned there was like a synopsis or a draft. Have you written anything along those lines?
No, she wrote that and then let me read it.
Now, Mr. Jackson turned his attention and asked you to describe what Lana was like when she was drinking. And I think as you told us yesterday, that sometimes it would be wheatgrass and vegetarian food, and next time it could be tequila and champagne, correct?
Yeah, yes.
There was a swing with Lana's personality in that regard. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, there was, Lana didn't really have a moderation switch. It was on or it was off. And she was very convicted to either side. Whatever she did, it was conviction because she's her Aries personality, very strong personality.
Okay. When she would drink, and let's just say, I don't know, I want to use the term to excess because I don't know what that means, but let's say she would drink to the point where you felt she was inebriated, okay? Which is no big deal. Did you notice there was some difference in the way she would behave?
Oh, sure.
Okay. You shared with me out in the hallway just a little while ago an incident with her riding in a vehicle. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, maybe we should come to the bench just so the court knows where I'm going with this.
Okay.
This could be construed in a different way.
All right. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Let me turn your attention to another area, if I may, please. You mentioned that Lana was a very demonstrative, could be aggressive at times. And I think Mr. Jackson,
Misstates the evidence. Aggressive.
she testified to that.
I believe there's been testimony. In any event, could you just, without all the precursors, if you could get to the question?
Sure.
Thank
The
you.
question is this. How would you describe her power physically?
Well, I mean, she, in her movies, she wielded knives and swords and things. She's pretty strong in that sense.
When you
Move to strike that. That would have been the 80s.
The relevant testimony would be at a later time, so you can.
Sure, let's hone in on a later time. Let me direct your attention from 2004
The
to
jury is admonished to disregard the previous answer. It's true.
Thank you.
Ms. Laughlin, it's my fault. Let me direct you to a period of time, 2000 to 2003. During that time, how would you describe her physically? As weak, strong, or how would you do it?
It's just me. She's not as strong as me.
Okay.
Tough. And I'm a sports kind of gal. She wasn't a sports kind of gal, but she was in physical stature, large, and she considered herself strong.
In the time that you knew her, and in particular from 2000 forward to 2003, did you witness her be the kind of individual that would stand up to people, men or women?
Oh, yeah, she's an Aries.
Okay.
So,
Did you tell anyone else other than, I believe it's Mary Ann Donahue, is that correct?
Anne-Marie.
Anne Marie Donahue and Mr. Lindblom, that Lana Clarkson said that she could just kill herself.
I told Officer Bennett
Who else?
when he came to my house. I think it's in Tawny's statement as well. And, our friends that were close to me and her, because I was concerned about what the possible outcome was.
So it was not just Mr. Bennett, and it was not just Miss Donahue or Mr. Lindblom, is that correct?
Right.
It was other people as well.
Yes.
Were you acquainted with Lana in terms of how she would carry her purse or her bag when she would go out socially?
Objection, needs to be on scope of process.
I'd ask you to reopen for a short.
Allow him to reopen. I agree, it is
It's
beyond.
very short.
All right, you may proceed.
Well, unlike me, yeah, she would never put her purse down. I would throw my purse and never see it again for 5 hours. She wouldn't do that. She liked to keep track of everything.
Did she keep her purse on herself a lot, on her person,
Sometimes, yeah,
or nearby?
yeah, always.
I have just a series of questions, and I've completed my examination. I hope they're going to be short. You asked me out in the hallway just a little while ago to ask you why you're here in court today. Do you recall?
Yes.
Okay. Would you tell the jurors why you are here in court today?
Objection. Let's be
Sustained as to why she's here.
Well,
No,
oh,
thank you, no question.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
You've been telling us the truth as you've been testifying through last week and today, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you spoke with Mr. Tomlin and didn't say anything to him, it wasn't until I believe you said that you spoke with Mr. Bennett in 2005 that you revealed this information to the government. Is that correct about Lana's statements?
Yes,
Okay. And that was after Mr. Spector had been charged and indicted, correct?
I think so.
Okay. And that changed things in your mind, didn't it?
Objection, this is the leading.
No,
Excuse me, well, it's very leading. The answer was no.
no, well, no, because I don't really know what all that means, and I have no vested interest in any sides of anything.
Okay, when you say you have, that's what I want to ask you. When you say you have no vested interest in sides, what do you mean by that?
Well, I have no vested interest in sides. It's not about that. It's about me and my conscience and my heart. My conscience.
Okay.
I have to.
So you have no vested interest in the prosecution side nor in the defense side. Is that a fair statement?
That's totally fair.
You have no training in psychology or psychiatry, I assume,
Correct.
and you don't hold degrees in either of those disciplines, do you?
No.
Just one final question, and that's this. You knew Lana Clarkson very well, didn't you?
Yes.
And you certainly knew her better than Mr. Dixon and Mr. Jackson, didn't you? Thank you. Nothing further.
Thank you, recross.
Yes, Judge. According to you, Anne Marie said, don't talk without a lawyer.
Yes.
And that was on the night that Lana Clarkson, well, the night you found out or the day you found out that Lana Clarkson had been killed, correct?
Yes.
She indicated to you that because her dad was a lawyer, that you shouldn't talk without a lawyer, correct?
Yes.
All right. So when the homicide detectives showed up at your door and said, Madam, can we talk to you? And you already said that they were very polite, correct?
Yes.
When the homicide detectives showed up and knocked on the door, can we have a few minutes with you? Why didn't you say, Miss Pye? I've been advised not to speak with you.
Because there's a homicide. This is what I tried to tell Anne Marie. They're homicide detectives. My friend is dead.
So you decided when these homicide detectives, which can be an intimidating thing, correct?
Yes.
I mean, badges and guns, right?
Sure.
I don't mean that they had their guns
They
out.
don't have their guns pulled.
I
No.
mean, they show up in business suits like wearing, but they've got a badge on their hip and they got a gun on their hip, correct?
Yes, but I knew they were there for the good
Sure.
of my girlfriend.
So because they were there for the good of your girlfriend, you decided, you made a personal decision to lie to them, correct, Ms. Pine?
Trust me, I didn't want to.
I didn't ask if you wanted to. Well, actually, let me withdraw that. You say you didn't want to, but you did, didn't you?
I was advised not to talk to them and tell them the truth.
So you didn't tell them, I'm not going to speak with you. You made a conscious decision to fabricate a story. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's not a fabricated story.
It was not a candid story.
It wasn't, right, it wasn't as open as I wanted to be because I felt at that time I wasn't supposed to be that open, and I stood there like a deer caught in the frickin' headlights.
And you knew that all they were asking for was the truth, correct?
Yes, and I wanted to tell them the truth.
And you knew that the only thing they wanted to do was kind of begin building a
Correct.
picture of who Lana Clarkson was.
That's right.
All right. And in so doing, you sat down and talked to them, correct?
We didn't sit, we stood in my kitchen.
And you began helping them build this picture of Lana Clarkson. Is that right?
Sort of. It didn't last long. It was just a few questions.
And when they asked you those questions, you knew that it was in anticipation of a possible criminal investigation, correct?
Yes.
In other words, you knew that Lana Clarkson had been killed in someone else's house, right?
Yes.
And this was not a circumstance where somebody was found after jumping off a bridge or something alone, right?
Right.
Correct?
Well, at that time, actually, it was. Oh no. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, you knew that she had been killed in another human being's house, correct?
Yes. By the time they got there, yes.
And you knew that there was going to be a potential criminal investigation surrounding this.
Yes.
And you already said you knew they were homicide detectives.
Yes.
And you tried to provide them, did you not, Ms. Pye, with information that you knew about Lana Clarkson because you were so close to her, correct?
I gave him, yes, I sort of muted the answers the best I could.
And you said on direct examination that you wanted to make sure that they, quote, knew the truth. Is that correct?
I wanted to.
All right. And according to your testimony now in 2007, that wasn't the truth. You left some things out.
I left some things out.
Okay. So why did you not, well, let me ask it this way. When did you have the epiphany that, you know what, I left a bunch of stuff out. I'm gonna start expanding on my first statement. When did you have that epiphany that, oh my goodness, I gotta tell the truth now and let everybody in on my secret?
Because I got physically ill.
When?
In those 2 years when I was holding it all in, I got really sick, and it just was on my shoulders and in my mind all the time. And I just didn't know what else to do. I had to tell the truth. My dad always told me to tell the truth.
And of course, when you decided you wanted to tell this truth, you contacted or were in contact with the defense, Mr. Spector's defense in this case, not the investigators for the, as Mr. Rosen puts it, the government, correct?
I was in touch with Rod Lindblom the day she died.
Mr. Lindblom is not the defense and he's not the government.
Well, I thought he was.
Okay, when did you decide, after you already indicated that the interim 2 years or so, in 2003 and let's say 2005, you wanted to go ahead and tell the truth because you couldn't live with it anymore. Isn't it true, Ms. Pye, that you contacted the defense to let them in on this truth?
No, I did not contact them, and the detectives contacted me and came to my house, and that's when I finally broke down and said, look, I have to tell you what happened.
You broke down for the first time when Detective Bennett and Detective Freya showed up at your house on November 16th, not December 6th, November 16th, 2005, correct?
Correct.
Isn't it true, Ms. Pye, that when in fact the detective showed up at your house on November 16th, 2005, you already had in your possession 4 phone numbers? Did you not?
4 phone numbers?
Phone number for Bill Gailey. Does that name ring a bell?
Yeah.
A phone number for Leslie Abrams. Does that ring a bell?
These are people that called me.
A phone number for Cheryl Yoakum. Does that name ring a bell?
Yep.
And a phone number, amazingly enough, for Roger Rosen. Isn't that true?
Oh, that I don't.
Amazingly enough.
That I don't remember.
I'll rephrase it.
Of course, we have.
I remember the other 3. I don't remember.
Just 1 second. The objection to the term amazingly enough is sustained, that's stricken. The rest of the question remains. Now she may answer.
You had those 4 phone numbers in your possession before the district attorney investigators showed up at your house on November 16th, 2005. Isn't that true?
I have no idea.
You actually showed them these phone numbers and they wrote them down and put it in their report, correct?
Yes,
So you had been in contact, Ms. Pye. The truth of the matter is, you had been in contact before the government came and talked to you in 2005. You had already been in contact with at least 4 members of the defense. Is that correct?
Nope.
So you had their phone numbers, but you hadn't contacted them yet.
Yes, they called me, yes. And Roger's phone number, Mr. Rosen, I did not have. Not that I know of, not to my awareness. And matter of fact, I may have those other numbers right here on the back of my notepad.
Okay, but your testimony is...
It's on that notepad because they called me, so they're on my caller ID. So I would write down and try to ask people, who are these people? Why are these people calling me? Who are they? And I'd call Rod. As a matter of fact, with almost everything that I ever knew, I would call Rod because I needed help. I didn't know what to do.
And the fact of the matter is, Ms. Pye,
But I never talked to them.
that was my next question.
Not that I
You, as you sit here today, your testimony is, notwithstanding you had in your possession 4 separate phone numbers, or,
3.
let me withdraw that. May I have Your Honor?
Yes.
You don't remember having Roger Rosen's phone number in your possession during that conversation?
No, I do not.
Do you remember telling the detectives, Detective Bennett and Freya, that you had his phone number?
No, I don't, but maybe I did and I just don't know it. I mean, I didn't really know who those people were or why they were calling me or what they did. I'm not court savvy. I didn't really know about defense and prosecution and all that. So I just would write down the phone numbers and write down who they are. And that was basically, I mean, I never even talked to them. I don't think.
But it's possible you might have.
I may. I mean, I was, in the last 4.5 years, there's been detectives, attorneys, on other sets of detectives. I'm not real sure whose side of the fence everybody's on or what they do. So forgive me for my naivety, but that's the truth.
The only thing I want to ask you about is your recollection, and specifically I'm trying to pinpoint your memory, Ms. Pye, about the individuals that you told Detectives Bennett and Freya that you had at least traded phone messages with or somehow gotten their phone numbers and been in contact with. And those people, okay, that's what I'm asking about. And before I ask the next question, I need to ask you this. Do you remember 3 or do you remember 4?
I only really remember, I believe I have them written down, and I believe it's 3, but I can double check in about 5 minutes if they're in my notebook.
That's okay. Bill Gailey, you knew that he was a defense investigator for Mr. Spector, correct?
I guess I don't really know. I didn't really know at the time what defense and prosecution meant. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I guess so. That I know knew he was a defense attorney. I guess.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. When Detectives Bennett and Freya showed up, they showed you a badge and some identification, correct?
Right.
And they clearly identified themselves as working for the district attorney's office, correct?
Yep.
In the case against Mr. Spector, correct?
Right.
All right. Mr. Gailey, Bill Gailey, showed you identification and clearly indicated that he was working for the defense or working for Mr. Spector particularly, didn't he?
Did I meet him?
Mr. Bill Gailey, the person whose phone number you have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he didn't come to my house, did I meet him? I'm saying that all I remember, I think, is that he's on my caller ID. I don't remember if I met with him or not.
And you don't remember if you talked to him on the phone.
No, I do not.
But do you remember, I guess my question is simply this. Do you realize as you sit here today, do you realize that he is in fact, or he was in fact, a defense investigator rather than working for the government?
I do now because you just told me that, yes.
Okay, how about Cheryl Yoakum? Cheryl Yoakum was somebody whose phone number you had, correct?
I wrote it down. They called me. It's on my caller ID. Yep. I wrote down everyone who called me.
And you knew that person was also a defense investigator employed by Mr. Spector, correct?
Not really. I don't, like I'm saying, I don't really know what that, at that time, I've never been in a court case before in my life. I didn't know who they are really. And some people said, be careful, because some people say one thing and they're working for somebody else. And so I was just totally confused.
What about Leslie Abramson? Do you know who she is?
I know the name. I wrote it in my notes.
Leslie Abramson, clearly you knew at the time, was a defense attorney working for Mr. Spector, correct?
I don't know. I can't say yes, because I didn't really know at the time what that meant. I don't know what it, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't understand courts and.
You certainly didn't think that Leslie Abramson was prosecuting Mr. Spector, did you?
I don't.
Clearly.
I didn't know what prosecuting and defense meant.
And what about Roger Rosen? Did you know back then in 2005 that Mr. Rosen was employed by Mr.
I don't
Spector?
even remember Mr. Rosen's number coming through, but if I wrote it down or it came through on my caller ID, I wrote it down.
So at the end of the day, when
The only time I remember
detectives...
talking to Roger Rosen is in the recent past, just recently.
At the end of the day, when Detectives Bennett and Freya met with you in November of 2005, you had already been in some contact with several people from the defense, correct?
I guess so. If they called me, then they contacted me. Correct.
With regard to Mr. Lindblom, you indicated that Mr. Lindblom clearly told you he, as representative of the family, and this is within weeks of Lana Clarkson's death, as representative of the family, he did not want public statements being made, correct?
Right.
He never told you not to go to the police. He never told you not to answer investigators' questions during the criminal investigation, did he?
I actually don't remember. He just said, don't worry, Pi. Don't speak to anybody. Don't go to the press. We'll take care of everything. You'll be called on when we need you.
And of course, you abided by that, correct?
Yeah.
And that's when you began feeling somewhat left out and marginalized by the family. Isn't that true?
No, I don't feel left out. I know how painful it was for them, and I don't feel left out.
Didn't you tell Detectives Bennett and Freya that you felt specifically slighted and, quote, marginalized by the family for not including you in the inner circle after Lana's death?
Well,
Asked and answered. It's already been gone over.
Yes, but every time we do it, it's opened up again on redirect, so it's allowed the district attorney to go into it and recross.
well, any marginalized isn't a word that I would ever use. And so what was the other word?
Slighted.
Slighted. I'm not sure if I would have said slighted.
How about left out?
How about hurt?
How about
A
upset?
little hurt.
Okay.
Because I felt because of what I told Rod, day one, the second person I called in the world, and the only person I called besides Elliot Mintz was Rod Lindblom. And I felt that by what I told him, that now I maybe was being pushed out.
On the outside.
Correct.
And as a matter of fact, in your words, I think Mr. Rosen asked you a question, and in response to it just a second ago, in your words, you indicated the whole world was looking to me for the answer.
So I was her best friend.
Okay. And because the whole world should be looking to you, Punkin Pie, for the answer, and because you had been somewhat muzzled by the family, you felt hurt. You felt like an outsider, correct?
Honey, I was hurt no matter what.
And to remedy that, Miss Pie,
It wasn't because of that. I was hurt in general.
and to remedy that, Miss Pie, you contacted the defense, and then you felt very important after that, didn't you?
Did not. Are you freaking kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding. I'm asking the questions. Isn't it true that you contacted the defense, Miss Pie, and at some point you began to feel very important because all of a sudden your story changed and you became the center of attention? Isn't that true?
You know, Mr. Jackson,
Is it or is it not true?
that is so not true.
Excuse me, she wasn't being responsive initially.
That is so not true.
All right, thank you.
I'm in shock
Thank you.
at your question, but thank you.
By the way, during this morning's break, did you have any conversations with Mr. Rosen outside in the hallway?
In the morning break?
Yes.
Yes.
What was that about?
I've been on the stand for how many hours now? I really have no idea at this point.
You came back after the break and you looked emotional, upset.
Well, this is the most upsetting day of my life. It's the second most upsetting day of my life.
What did Mr. Rosen tell you when you two were out in the hallway this morning during the break?
I have no idea. I'm subject to breaking down in tears because I've lost my best friend. So whatever we were talking about, I probably started thinking about that and started crying again.
Was he talking to you about the tone and tenor of your testimony?
Well, that wouldn't make me cry.
Was he talking to you about the content of your testimony, Ms. Pye?
Not that I'm aware. I mean, I don't know.
Was Mr. Rosen asking you any questions about things that he was going to continue to ask you or things that I might ask you when we came back in after the break?
I'm sure he went over some things, yeah.
What kind of things?
I have no idea.
How many times have you met with Mr. Rosen in preparation for your testimony over the last couple days?
Let's see, in the last couple of days?
No. That was sort of a bad question. I left it hanging out there because I thought you knew what I meant. You've testified over the last couple of days, meaning Thursday and today.
Yes.
How many times have you met with Mr. Rosen concerning your testimony for this event, let's say?
And are you saying before Thursday or from Thursday on?
Cumulatively, in all time, how many times have you met with Mr. Rosen in preparation for your testimony?
I think twice.
And when was that?
Once about a couple weeks ago, and after Thursday,
After Thursday, you and Mr. Rosen met?
there was one meeting, yeah.
And what was discussed at that meeting after Thursday?
Just stuff, how I held up on, how I was here, how I was doing.
Can you be any more specific for me?
We didn't really talk very much about specific things. It was very brief, and he was busy, and I had to go home after cats and medications.
Okay. Cats and medication for yourself, or cat medication for the cat?
Trust me.
Cats medication for the cat.
Medication for my cats.
All right.
Yep. Good. Yeah.
Mr. Rosen asked you if he asked you some questions about the Backstage Cafe, and you indicated you had been promoting there for some 10 years, correct?
Yes.
And during that 10-year tenure,
Yeah.
you understand my question? During that period, you were also promoting at several other clubs.
Yes.
And you indicated after Lana Clarkson's death, you at some point began phasing out the other clubs, and now you promote primarily or exclusively at Backstage, correct?
Well, it wasn't sometime after her death. It was the day after her death. I couldn't go on. I couldn't get up. I basically never wanted to leave my house again as long as I lived.
And you indicated that, and by the way, you do earn a living promoting at Backstage Cafe. I mean, you don't do it pro bono, correct?
Right. It made it hard to make a living.
All right. They may make it hard, but you, in fact, do get money for promoting at Backstage.
No, but I'm saying from the day she died, it made it super hard to make a living.
I see.
Correct.
And the fact,
Mr. Jackson, how much longer?
I have a few minutes, Your Honor. There were several areas.
And I assume that you're going to have redirect. All right, what are we going to do with these Alhambra police officers?
Then the order.
They did come to me.
Okay, all right, yeah, just two. Okay, in any event, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, keep in mind the admonition. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 9:30. The witness is excused until that time. If you want some officers already back, go ahead and get them.
I don't expect to be very much longer with you this morning, so bear with me for just a second. There's one area that we didn't get to yesterday afternoon, and I want to kind of finish up with that. You had indicated yesterday, and as a matter of fact, I think last Thursday, when you were first on the stand, that you had a conversation with the police on the day that Lana died. That's pretty clear, correct?
Yes.
And during that conversation, Ms. Pye, you indicated to the police, Detectives Tomlin and Fournier, that in fact, Lana was not suicidal. She didn't indicate anything to you about suicide, and she didn't have any depression that was notable to you. That was your statement to them at that point, correct?
Overruled.
And just to bring us up to date, there were also conversations that you had with friends and family at various functions in the days and weeks following Lana Clarkson's death as well, correct?
I didn't go out much, but
But you were at some functions, correct?
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, and I don't necessarily mean parties, I mean functions. For instance, there was a memorial service for Lana,
Yes.
and you were at that.
Yes.
There was her funeral, and you were at that.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, there was a wedding reception. May not have been the most festive thing in the world because of Lana's death, but there was a wedding reception just a few weeks after that, Anne Marie Donahue's wedding reception, correct?
Yes.
And you were at that as well.
Yes.
At any of these receptions or functions, isn't it true that you carried a picture of Lana Clarkson with you?
Yes.
And that was in deference to her.
Yeah.
And isn't it true, Ms. Pye, that at Anne Marie Donahue's wedding reception, the subject of Lana Clarkson's death did come up between you and a man named Rick Brody?
I'm so sorry. I have no recollection of that. I was dazed and confused at that point in my life.
Isn't it true, ma'am?
Is a better answer, in fact.
I understand. Very understandable.
Yeah.
Isn't it true, ma'am, that during a conversation with Rick Brody, you indicated with reference to Lana Clarkson's death that, quote, "We need to fry that bastard for killing Lana Clarkson," referring to Phil Spector?
I don't remember that whatsoever, and that doesn't sound like something I have ever said.
You never used the word or used the phrase, "We need to fry that bastard."
No, a lot of other people have said that.
But according to your testimony today, you didn't utter that phrase.
Not that I remember. I don't think I would have ever said that in my life.
You said not that you remember. Is it conceivable or possible that at that wedding reception, you uttered that phrase to Rick Brody?
Jerking is a form of question.
Sustain. There's no.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
In your mind, as you sit here today, and I understand you've indicated several times that your memory is somewhat hazy, in your memory, do you remember saying, "We need to fry that bastard for killing Lana," concerning Phil Spector, to anybody?
No, I do not.
At the reception, at the wedding reception,
No.
at the memorial service,
I've never believed that, so that's something that I wouldn't have said.
or at the funeral?
Correct.
And if you did say that, that would certainly indicate that you did believe that, correct?
No.
So you might have said that and been lying about it?
No, I'm just saying I don't ever remember ever saying that.
All right. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Redirect?
Yes, please.
Ms. Laughlin, you never believed what?
Take
Take your time and explain what you meant by that. Mr. Jackson asked you the question. You just asked, what do you mean by that?
we can't move to another question?
Ma'am, just answer the question.
We can move,
I'm very serious. Please answer the questions that are asked.
I wasn't trying to be funny at all. I'm very sorry, Your Honor. Honestly, it's just a hard question for me to answer, is what I'm saying.
all right. Let me back up. As far as you can remember, you did not make that statement, correct? And I think you indicated, you says it didn't sound like me. What did you mean by that?
It's just, I know my phrasing, I know how I talk. I'm not sort of that aggressive
Okay.
and things like that.
But you did hear other people say things along those lines at this wedding reception. Isn't that true?
And for the last 4 years, yes.
You've heard that a lot, haven't you?
Every day.
Okay. A lot of your friends are angry at you for testifying, aren't they?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are very angry at Phil Spector because they think that he's guilty of this, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Did I ever tell you what to say when you came into this courtroom at the very first instance last Thursday?
Yes.
I want you to turn to the jury and tell them exactly what I told you to do when you came into this courtroom.
To tell the truth.
And have you told the truth about everything you've testified to about you and Lana?
Yes, I said it true, yeah.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Recross.
This is just a little bit different truth than the truth you told to Tomlin and Fournier, though, correct?
What different truth?
Overruled.
These jurors. It's a little bit different than the truth you told to Tomlin and Fournier.
The ones that came to my house first?
Right.
Well, yes, I already stated that.
Thanks.
Anything further? Thank you. Anything further? Yes?
What you're telling us here is more complete, it's more of the universe of information that you have as opposed to that short meeting with Tomlin on the day that you won with your friend, right? Yeah.
I said it before, I had to hold back things. I didn't want to hurt people.
Thank you. Thank you, Secretary. To recall your excuse, you may step down. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much.